What is up, y'all? It's your boy Yannick coming at you with another Church of MHA special. I'm sorry for the delay, but I didn't fall asleep until 5 a.m. my time, and that means I didn't wake up until like 11:30 my time. So you get me with almost no sleep, but hey, we live. So sorry for the delay, of course, but you know, it's what we got to do. So East just called. I know y'all been waiting. I'm sorry. Life is complicated right now. It is what it is. I'm gonna need y'all to accept that. Yep, got the look at that. Me and East at the same time done posted the link in the Discord. That's what I love to see. All right, look. Hey, Tanisha, thank you. Jalen Bexley, J. Michael Holmes, Tyler Hawk. All right, let's go. So I do have an announcement as it pertains to the channel, but I'm going to wait until more people get into the stream because it's kind of a big deal. But all that aside, I'm going to, all right, yep, Nafisa's here, Tyler Hawk. All right, yep, Joseph Shola. All right, good. Okay, so my people here, even my mom's here, excellent. It was her birthday the other day. Did y'all know that? It was her birthday on Monday. So, gonna go ahead and pull up the chapter just because I want to get into that and then get into the section. And I know you guys would like to hear also, you know, the other bishop's thoughts that on the last chapter in addition to this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive right into this, bring them in, talk about the future of the channel, etc., and what's going on. So first off, let's just dive into the chapter. My Hero 360. Picking up where we left off, Shigaraki sprouting more fingers and limbs. Let's see. Opening line. Izuku Midoriya was supposed to be here. Let's see. What did I just get a message for? Okay, good. So he's bound to show up soon. On that note, having my quirk erased right now is a blessing in disguise. Oh, is that Bakugo trying to fire more bullets out of the Panzer? Shut up. Oh, nope. Ooh. Shigaraki got his foot on Bakugo's head. The disrespect, bro. Not him picking him up. All right, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm the kind of dude that likes to pick things up with my toes. I don't like seeing my favorite characters picked up with toes. Like, oh look, a random sock. Hold on. I can pick that up with my toes. But like, come on, don't do my boy Bakugo like that. That's evil. That's demon time. Is he picking? Hold up. So threw that up in there, stomped him into the ground. Oh, damn, this is nasty. Because your corpse will be left intact. Remember his sheer fury when I poked you full of holes last time? Yes, he'll have a lovely present waiting when he arrives. Oof. Not him putting his fingers in Bakugo's nose. Come on, man. Why are you picking his nose? What they do that at? This ain't Billy and Mandy. Come on, dog. But this is a rather grim adventure, so I guess it works. Well, it's time for a reality. Okay, you once said you've always admired All Might's triumphs. Well, it's time for a reality check, Katsuki Bakugo. No matter the heights you reach, you'll never be more than Izuku Midoriya's hanger-on, a minion in One for All's wakes. All right, so first off, yes, Deku is the MC. So by default, Bakugo will never be able to be like as elite as him. But I need him to stop pretending like he didn't lose his part of his lining. Endeavor never messed up his lining and Bakugo did. Like, yikes. Like, right, yes, he needs to be bodied for that move alone. Like, come on now. Like, the disrespect. All right, Nijiri wave. Nijiri spike. Okay, she can make a sword out of that energy. Let's see. Uh-oh. Oh, whoa. Let's see. Huh? Vast hybrid. Octopus mirage. Scorpius toxin. Eating bugs is all the rage these days. Oh, venom. Pathetic. Okay, so I was right about us going into Venom last week. Unfortunately, he didn't pick a lethal enough Venom. He chose Scorpion Venom instead of getting him some fancy Fugu. Disappointment, but now he can sprout mouths on these nasty ass finger hand things. That ain't right. My body continues to adapt, scurry away like insects. Nothing can bring me down. And then my boy Mirio manages to clutch it and save Bakugo at the very least from the grasp of Melvin. Genist! And Mirio gives him a nice lob. Here we go. I remember your stupid face from Jaku. Also, the sheer confusion, like the dull confusion on his face. The name's Lemillion. I'm the hero on messenger and bodyguard duty. Count on me to fight off any other villains who might crash our party and to spread intel around without delay. They need someone quick and mobile here, and that's me. So, why do you destroy? Because the current framework has failed. All right. Shigaraki being like, because the current framework has failed, Hato, there he is, giving him, okay, she gave him an energy cuff. I get it. You've never had any friends. Dog. Not Mirio calling Shigaraki friendless and technically being right because he didn't have any friends until he developed the League of Villains. Woo! Also, that applies to All-For-One too, because he manipulates everybody around him and is completely dishonest with them. And think about it. He could have teleported the doctor. He could have tried to find the doctor and never did. He has no real friends. So he just roasted both sides of the personality. That's insane. Uh-huh. Okay. I can get in close, sure, but on my own, I can't deal hard-hitting damage. That's why I gotta escort Hato's energy waves to point-blank range. Otherwise, you'd realize there's plenty worth keeping around. Until Midoriya shows up, I'll keep Shigaraki on the ropes. Allow me to suture your arm right now, Dynamite. No delay. We still have need of your firepower. Even Genist recognizes, and this is what I said, like when I was like, I don't know how people are going to sit here and try to clown Bakugo for not beating Shigaraki with that explosion, when objectively, he hoops harder than anybody in this damn fight. Nobody is going to do what he did. You think they taking his line? No. Taking Melvin and All-For-One's line, that is an All Might level feat. Okay? Only All Might hits people so hard they lose their linings. Don't play with me. Your arm, please. We'll figure something out later. This foe is beyond any of us. He surpassed all expectations. We're well past the point of exploiting your previous encounters with Shigaraki. That was a stellar showing you've done. Enough. Right side. Bakugo giving Genist orders. Great explosion, Mortar God Dynamite saying, right side. Nigga, what you talking to me about on my left foe? What you talking to me on the left foe? My right arm is the one that got crunched. Why are you talking on his left, Genist? See, that's what I'm talking about. That lack of competence. No, I'm kidding. He's not incompetent for standing on the left. That just happens to be where he's placed. But all the same, what you standing on the left when you know you got to solve the right foe? What you doing? That's a rookie placement. All I'm saying. Bakugo. Look, it's not Genist slander, it's Genist accountability. I'm tired of nobody pointing out how Genist is way out of his weight class in this fight. Like I said, Bakugo's. So if you didn't watch the short episode I did last week, understand this. If you compare the damage done by Vanishing Fist to 75% Melvin, and you compare it to what the Howitzer Cluster did, it is not even close. In addition to that, Vanishing Fist was a move done specifically because Bakugo created that opportunity for him. Hit him in the stomach, and what that nigga do? Start talking. Ha, Shigaraki, we beat you because you have ideals. Nigga, what? And what happened? Shigaraki was like, nigga, I got ideals. Y'all hurt y'all families. And then never was like, oh shit, I did hurt my family. Hey, thank you, Kaiser. Welcome to the congregation, my boy. So I'm tired of the people pretending like Bakugo wasn't hooping last chapter. Finger feint. I don't know what finger feint means, but I'm assuming that that's like them talking about what Shigaraki's doing. Bakugo is muttering. I saw somebody mention that in the chat. Look, Bakugo muttering and embodying Deku for even a split second got me worried for Melvin. He's not going to lose to Bakugo still. He not. But the last thing you want, and if you've seen World Heroes Mission, you know what I'm talking about. Deku's strategy in fights will be, I need to figure this out. I need to figure this out. Damn, I guess it's time to just go really fucking hard, huh? Fuck it. I'm going to beat your ass, and that's it. Bakugo's strategy, if you look at World Heroes Mission, was I'm going to utilize every piece of my gear. I'm going to utilize and sacrifice every piece of tech. And only when they've been distracted by everything else will I hit them with my biggest motherfucking move. So when we look at this situation, he's now calculating, where do I need to place these grenades? Where do I need to do this? Because what Best Gina says is, even now, despite everything, he's still, and I don't know like why there's nothing there, but I'm assuming it means that he's still going or he's still going to fight. Also worth noting is that Bakugo is covered in sweat, but you can see sparks forming around his face, which means that he might be about to be able to use his quirk in a way that he has never done before. So we might finally get to see him igniting his sweat in multiple areas, etc., doing things like people have wanted to see for a while. Like, you know, when people talk about Bakugo using his feet would be raw, you know, that kind of stuff. We might finally be about to get some stuff like that, or some shit that man, I just sent that link to the bishop. So if you listen to the call or you in the chat right now, you got no excuse. That's in the bishop chat. You better hop in, tap in. Now, we might finally get the first example of a quirk awakening. Now, I've always said that I don't necessarily believe in quirk awakening. Specifically, what I always look at it as is understanding the application of your quirk better. And if we're seeing sparks and stuff forming because he's angry, I think that's finally him like using more of his body, because ultimately Bakugo cannot stop twinkling. Oh Lord. Now, Bakugo specifically has only ever thought to use his palms, in my opinion. And the reason for this is that your hands have the most control, they're the most dexterous part of your body. You actually use them more than most other body parts. If you, like me, you even talk with your hands a lot of the time. So I don't think this is going to be a deviation in how his quirk functions so much as him finally applying the logic to other parts of his body, because at the end of the day, his quirk is that he secretes an explosive sweat and has the ability to ignite it. Even when you look at the verbiage of how that's described, I don't even know if it says he ignites it with his hands, I think. But I think it specifically actually says he can secrete an acid-like substance and ignite it. Technically, if that's the verbiage used, it's never said that he can only do it with just his hands. It's that he's always been choosing to do it, which means he's probably calculated the caliber explosives he needs right now, or calculating to specifically constantly fire off Panzer rounds. Because one of the things that I mentioned also is that even beating Bakugo's ass can work out against you. When making a man, beating him up, putting his body in the shot, causing it to panic, leads to him having more sweat, he's just going to automatically get to reload these cannons. Yep. See, Tabofu, you get it. You know that Bakugo's mom has the quirk throughout her whole body, while his dad can detonate his quirk in his arms. Yep. I'm so Brenda de la Cruz. I'm so ready for the next chapter to show Bakugo greatness. Yep.
Yo, the goal of this chapter is Tomura Shigaraki.
Tell him again. I ain't arguing. I ain't discussing. I ain't debating. Pure 100% Tamura Shigaraki. This entire chapter.
I'm just saying that now. The goal of this chapter is Tamura Shigaraki. Yo, listen. Everything he did this chapter was greatness. I ain't even gonna lie.
It felt good. It's been so long where I had
it felt good.
I had debate who was talking this other. Ain't no debating. It was Shigaraki this entire chapter. Not once did that sound like all for one, move like all for one. This is all demon time of Shigaraki.
He even brought up Shigaraki memories from the bar. He was like, yo, remember that time you said you only like All Might's triumphs? You ain't never gonna be that. Damn. He brought it back to the back then.
But he called back. Listen, that's all. Listen, and so we speaking of callbacks. Hey man, listen. All I got to say is, Die Hawks. I was happy here with them. You ain't got no friends. You ain't got no friends.
Huh?
You was just fucked up, nigga.
Huh?
Hey. And so you know what? That might keep Shigaraki actually in control for a while.
Huh?
Being called a friend, which the extra irony to that is All For One opened up like the earlier in this arc, calling Dabi basically friendless.
which he really did not know what the fuck he was talking about.
Listen, I love that panel so much because the eye changed. So it's not even like no copium, nothing. It's like, nah, something happened in that panel.
Like, I'll go for anybody try to say about copium. This like you just can't read. Just say that. The niggas can't read. Just say that.
The pupil went from all white to the little Tenko pupil. Like he's finding his ideal form.
Hey, and that's what he's been talking about the whole time. Like I'm searching for that. I'm trying to find the ideal form.
Bro, that's
realize what my body needs to be.
We keep talking about Shigaraki and All For One. Listen, Tenko's in there too. That Iris, it really does remind me of Tenko from that one panel when he was like Izuku Midoriya during the Cassie fight. And if that's Tenko, even if that's Tenko, that's still like okay, because you know Tenko would recognize who the league is to Shigaraki.
Yeah,
I got friends.
Yeah, so regardless, that's still Shigaraki. That it's going to resonate on Shigaraki, whichever way you try to pull it.
Also, I think Shigaraki's like, did I just really get flamed while whooping this much ass? Because. Like so, this is the peak of what Mirio's, I believe, smiles are important comedy like brings to the table here. Like, I'm a roast the villains as I whoop their ass if I got to. It's whatever. Honest.
I love Mirio's moment in this chapter because like it's like a moment everybody wanted, low key, like Mirio and Shigaraki. And the first thing he says to this man, I remember your stupid ass face from Jaku.
Like. Like because Mirio's Mr. Andrew came through. I am praying this leads to twice. Thank you for giving me Bakugo getting his butt kicked, but no thank you for Quirk awakening. Awakening isn't real. Don't worry about that.
Yo, by the way, Andrew, you be playing. Happy birthday. It is your birthday.
Damn, so you gonna take my shot. I'm about to give us a big shout out.
Wow.
Yeah, because he playing. Because he playing, like, you gonna hit us with the super chat, you gonna bless us. Like, let us bless you, bro.
Yeah,
Happy birthday.
Turnus just stole the moment, man. Because that's why I didn't say it to that nigga. Because I'm about to make a big spectacle.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, like, somebody commented on the video from last week, like, just a couple minutes ago about, like, Blue Ring Octopus. But, yeah.
But, hey, listen, since y'all always want to talk about, who talking this, that, and the other. Since y'all want to talk about who talking, bro. The speech bubbles are all Shigaraki. These are all Shigaraki speech bubbles the entire way through.
They do have a Shiggy font.
So it's Shiggy, bro. I don't care if like, that sounds a little too off one. It's Shiggy.
Listen, the end all be all is that it is a merge. So even if he uses All For One mannerisms, he's still like talking for Shigaraki.
Yeah, it's Shigaraki all the way through, bro. Like this entire chapter was straight up Shigaraki from top to bottom, and even if you want to give that one bar to All For One said something at one time. The rest of the time was all Shiggy's actions. All For One and him be talking about all this and that and other.
Hey, hold up, because Tony is right, but he shouldn't have said that.
Yeah,
and for the type of guy to call missing dogs numbers and bark.
Bro, nah, for real.
No, like he would. I can't even deny it. He
Oh,
would.
God.
Oh. So
Yo, I like Nejire's move this chapter too. I like that little ability she pulled out, and I love the way Shigaraki put Bakugo in the way he was like,
Bro, that was
hit,
bro.
hit him, man, do it.
Bro, that shit was so evil, bro. I was geeking when I see this. He's like, Nejire Pike. And I see this nigga. It's so bro, it's just so good to see Shiggy also diva and shit. He's like, that's my evil king right there. Nigga like, he's like, you want to hit me then, huh? Go ahead, hit me. You know, she's like, whoa, she had it where she had to fucking
it's not even like it was intentional. Like she really had to redirect the attack. Like no setups was there.
And I'm like I said, he went for the wrong poison, but I guess it doesn't matter. But
that was crazy. That mouth, I'm telling y'all right now, he can make another brain. He can do it.
Like the fact that he could do that means that like at any point he can just replicate himself at this point. That's like the end goal, more than likely, him being able to just create another him. Because the goal was to get a body that like could deal with all these quirk things. And if he can produce body parts on a whim, produce mouths on a whim, he's eventually just going to be able to generate any body part he needs on a whim.
Eyes everywhere. I'm telling y'all, crazy things are about to happen. You can't hide from him. Nothing.
Bro.
Hey, he should have taken the risk and eaten fugu. Taking the risk.
Nah, man, listen, bro. That shit crazy as fuck.
Bro, once I saw them mouths coming out the hands, I was like, yeah, he's leveling up. He's just leveling up.
I peeped that like 2 chapters ago. A nigga was like, hey man, my body's still adjusting. That's why I was doing all this shit too. It ain't fully like
this ain't my final form.
Yeah, this ain't my final form, nigga. That shit ain't processed yet.
And then he was like, yo, maybe it's a good thing I don't have no quirks.
Bro, you know what's interesting to me about Shigaraki and then this entire MHA thing? The concept that still blows my very mind is that there's an alternate dimension that exists within MHA with the vestige worlds. Like there is a literal alternate dimension, undeniable. That's an alternate dimension in a space and time that exists. And at one point, and at the point in time, like them niggas were in the vestige world for like 4 or 5 minutes, and it was only like a split second in the outside world. And it really baffles me how in that this is an alternate dimension that literally fucking exists within my head. It's like, bro, we are literally in an alternate dimension talking to ghosts that have passed on hundreds of years ago. Like that's on some. That's like some crazy ass shit.
That's literally Avatar.
Yeah, like for us to be in this real shit, and it's like I know where he really got a lot of inspiration from. He got it from Reborn, Hitman Reborn, because I would have said Avatar, but he said he never heard of it before.
Yeah, but you know, for us, that's a classic for us, though.
Yeah, but for him, that's one of the all time. Like
it also ties into Star Wars too, because basically the vestige world is like the Force. Because they're all just Force ghosts. That's the other thing, right? Is that like just like how Obi-Wan and like Vader show up at the end of the Return of the Jedi, and they like kind of give their little watch, like yeah, and they later go back and retcon and edit the movie so that Hayden Christensen is there instead of the Vader suit. Same concept, having the Force ghosts pop up and approve.
And then when we're Reborn, it was always he's the 10th mafia boss, and it's generation by generation they kind of pass on their status of whatever the hyper intuition. But I ain't gonna talk too much about it because a lot of people didn't read it. But
we already know, like I mentioned, the Shoto's cold flame ability is the stance and is partially derived from the 0 point breakthrough.
Exactly,
like
a revision. But what's crazy about this shit is just like there's an alternate dimension that exists within this shit, and it's just like, bro, like the scope of this shit don't really make sense, and it's like,
yo, wait, time out. We didn't stay here what we thought about last chapter. That howitzer impact.
Hey, listen, you're right. We didn't talk about last chapter. Hey, I'm gonna go back. Hey, listen. At first, I was like, but now. It's up there with A gear for me. It's up there with A gear. A gear glyphs. It's up there with me. It's up there.
That attack looked at least as big or bigger because you got to think it went past the UA campus, and it seems like it's more than just UA's building that like went up, like, but a good chunk of the campus.
I mean, it's easier to if it was on the floor, it'd be easier to digest, like see that. But with the UA, you had to make it smaller, and it's like scope. With Shoto, he was on the ground, so the AOE is fully in effect and visual.
Yeah, you have to
zoom out. They both beasts. They both beasts to me, honestly. Like Phosphor is crazy, Cluster is crazy, and Bakugo's about to get something else. Crazy.
Oh yeah, like
the way Bakugo got his arm broken last chapter, and you even see it again this chapter. Like
Hori doing a great job of partially censoring this. Actually, like looking at the panel, because you look, he purposely has Bakugo's arm noodling in motion, so you don't have to like look at it be completely mangled.
I didn't think he was gonna do him that bad this early. Like that's a good L. That's a solid L.
Bro, I'm looking because when I was reading that shit, I was like, bro. Ain't no way in hell he just did that to this nigga, bro. It's like, bro,
because
you gotta really look at what happened to this nigga. Like, you gotta look like, bro, like the drip is hitting now. I really forget the barefootedness because of the fact he grabbed that nigga fucking head with his toe.
Crazy.
But he literally, in less than a millisecond, this nigga managed to pick this nigga up with his toe, flick him up, rip some of his hair off. He literally grabbed this nigga by the throat and moved his foot so that kicks his fucking arm.
He specifically was axe kicking his gauntlet.
Yeah, but then he broke his fucking arm so goddamn fast. I'm like, bro, he fucked this nigga shit up in a split second, and then he grabbed him, and you can see the speed in which the lower half, his calf muscle, moved back down and split into the ground. Like that's the only part of him that has like those speed lines. So the fact that he was moving that fucking fast, like, bro, within a millisecond. Bro, like this thing, no wonder he don't got his quirk.
Bro, you want to talk about speed? Bakugo was on the floor about to shoot at him, and he did all that, and then the explosions came out right after he grabbed him. Then they started blasting.
And like the other thing about this for me is that he genuinely probably would have already accidentally killed Bakugo if he had his quirks. Like not even on purpose, just he would have accidentally done it.
Yeah, the K would have.
Because like he's like that kick purposely avoids breaking his left arm. Actually, when you look back at it, because he can still because Bakugo still has his arm held up instead of kind of it flopping around. Because Shigaraki's like, no, I won't, which is also makes everything he's saying a little ironic because he's sitting here talking all this shit, but is purposely breaking Bakugo's gear so that he cannot explode him again. And that's why I'm like trying to that's why like last when I saw people being like, oh, Bakugo, it's like, no, like Shigaraki is halfway bullshitting here. Because like you don't break somebody's arm if their attack isn't impressive. You don't start trying to break their support gear so they can't do it again if that shit didn't hurt.
He called it fantastic.
Like
he was like, but he just said it doesn't interest him. He just doesn't care.
Yeah, he said
on a personal level.
He gave him respect. He was like, good. He's like, but that's why exactly why I got to handle your ass because you packed the punch.
He was like, I'm not gonna get hit by a nigga I'm not emotionally invested in. What is this?
Yo, Brandon De La Cruz. I promise you, anybody that really say that shit, that Ari just gonna go back and rewind. Anybody, we will address this once and for all. Anybody that said that shit last war, looking dumb as fuck now because that shit didn't happen to anybody, and it's not happening now. That's if ands, or buts. It's not even an argument. If you think that shit,
honestly, it's kind of hilarious how hard Horikoshi is going to not have her fix the heroes to the point where he's having her fix the villains. Like he's going hard, to not have it be for us.
This is one of the things that I've always found hilarious because, like I've said, and I think some people got mad at me last week when I said it because I was like, because I straight up said it in the video. I was like, you're incessant and whiny for this. But like, Ori goes out of his way to create conditions where she cannot fix the heroes. Like he went out of his way to have repair Mirio's quirk just so we would objectively know there was nothing she could do for anybody who got hurt in that war.
He be going hard, bro. Like,
and my thing is that because one of the things that I remember, I think I was talking to, I'm not even gonna say their name because I don't want them to feel like they're being targeted. But I remember talking to them about it, and I was like, no, straight up, like, you weren't there. You weren't reading it when it was week to week, and people thought that Night Eye was going to get saved by Eri, and that's part of why you keep having these weird complaints, because you haven't, like, gone through a lot of this series in real time.
Yeah.
And like, got to be like, oh, no, like, I don't need to worry about this. Because if you just binge everything, you're not going to realize that, oh, yeah, like, between Night Eye getting injured and, you know, him dying is technically like 10, 15 chapters.
That's literally when we figure out what her quirk is. So that
Right.
that could have been a quick save if he wanted that.
And he put her down the hallway from this nigga and was like, she got a fever and she can't help.
That's it.
He was like, she on the ass.
Well,
Aizawa plays around with the idea, but you know, we're going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tom was coming through with the super chat. Great stream so far. Didn't expect Aniki to pick Asaka up at the beginning, but it is what it is. I like the stream, everyone. Question it. How would y'all feel if we swap locations? Look,
I'd be cool with it.
I'd be cool with it. This is actually a perfect cliffhanger to like leave on, because these last two chapters make a really good episode that only covers 2 chapters, depending on how Bones would decide to do it. Because imagine starting an episode and having the commercial break basically be like, you know, Bakugo getting his shit kicked in and like the big 3 pulling up, but then the finish of that episode being so like, actually, yeah, like these last 3 chapters make kind of like a perfect episode.
Yeah, it's been 3 chapters. It hasn't been as long as the All For One stuff, but you know, maybe it don't have to be.
Well, the thing is that this isn't going to be over next chapter. I don't see it being over because
I don't know.
We just got the he ain't done yet.
Yeah, it's a multitude of things, because it's like, how many times we're gonna keep running back to this field? Because at this point, it's like, all right, you still got you know, Mirio not gonna go down yet. Now you plan on giving Bakugo his bigger moment, even back up again. So it's like, all right, Mirio got flex some more. Then one of the big 3 got to die. But it's
I can see us getting one or two
but,
more. We could get.
Yeah, but then it's like, then Bakugo about to get his moment. So it's like a coma. It's just like a bunch of shit going
also,
on.
I'm gonna be real. I feel like Genius is like, Bakugo might be realer than me.
Yeah,
honest, bro. I was waiting for us to start talking about Genius. I love the slander. I'm all for it. We not be here. Yo, I love last chapter too when he smacked all of them. Like, yo, what are y'all doing? You see how Edshot and Miracle wasn't in this chapter at all.
Yeah, we didn't even see them. And
they wasn't no point. He said, man.
And look, and y'all have been here since we got this team. And I was like, dog, why they do Bakugo in Nigeria like this? Why they put them with niggas that cannot fuck with Shigaraki?
Even Sun Eater, bro, he did that little poison trick. He said, pathetic. Started making that boy run away scream.
No wonder.
I'm like, why they do these?
Now listen. What I will give Sun Eater is that nigga got the right mindset. Them niggas got the right mindset. They aiming to kill. Like, they got the right mindset. They aiming to kill.
Yo, that pike was probably a headshot, low key.
Oh, it was. You know, they not playing. They aiming. They're like, yeah, bro. I don't know about you other 1A niggas, but we ain't here for all that kiddie shit. The big three,
man. Even Mirio, when he pulled up and he grabbed Nejire's blast, I was like, all right, bro, okay. And then, you know, he hit him with some shit. He ain't gonna do nothing.
Nah, he hit him with some shit. He was like, don't worry, bro. We gonna hold this nigga down. I ain't let Shigaraki do shit to nobody else this entire time. But J. Michael, you said something a minute ago, and I mean to touch it because that shit funny as fuck. He said they think Eri back there loading up on trigger. Eri wrote it up. Eri hit the battle scene next week, y'all. That shit had me crying when I first read that shit, boy. For real. And honestly, it's another thing too about this battlefield. How many times we gonna keep going back to it? Carnage, you told me when you read sports, you said you starting to think understand why we went back here, and I wanted to see what you thought about that, because I seen why now. Now I feel like, all right, now it's like, okay, they can't.
Hold up, King of Wolves said something important, which is Genius would have been done if what happened to Bakugo happened to him, and that's correct.
That is. Nigga wouldn't be able to move his fucking arm.
Genius would have been like, yeah, let me just, and he would have laid the fuck down.
All right, let's actually, you know what? I ain't gonna say that, because you know what? Genius a cockroach. That's one of the strongest cockroaches I've ever seen.
Hey, Genius the cockroach, but he ain't that kind of cockroach. Like,
but
third floor classroom, try the 5th floor. Actually, I take that back. I'm not sure if they still got their 5th floor.
But no, that shit kind of crazy, because like, And also the topic about this is in that like, all right, so now I see why we gotta keep coming. Now I see like why we cut away and why we gotta do the shit because it's like, all right, now I'm feeling a threat. Once we really kill somebody, I'm like, all right, it's solidified now that this is an actual like threat.
And what's crazy is that like the amount of maiming we get in this series consistently has me like, damn, some of y'all might have rather died. Like, because like think about this from a Razor's perspective. Like, yes, he wants to look over his students. Yes, he wants to take care of them. But like when your power is looking at niggas and you lose the ability to like use your power of looking at niggas, but you can still look at niggas, your life is in a weird spot. So now you stuck watching with one eye and no depth perception as your student get his ass whooped. Come on now.
This shit crazy, bro. But this is the thing, like, this is the thing. Win or lose, part two, no part two, all these kids gonna have to be equally as fucked up as Bakugo, Jiro, and somebody losing a limb for real. Like, I don't know who it's gonna be, but one of them kids actually finna lose a goddamn limb. I don't know who it's gonna be, but one of them kids gonna lose a limb. I got Yama dying by double suicide. Like, it's double sacrifice. Like, Fat gonna die, but he gonna take the W over Kunita, but they probably gonna kill him in the end. It's gonna be like that. So, all right, I won, but I fell, and it's about like.
So if you look at the main explosion of Howitzer, it seems to be primarily derived from like his actual like palms and stuff. Because if you go back to the spread, I got y'all covered page 6 to 7 of chapter 359. The actual kaboom impact, none of the cannons on his back are firing. That's purely his hands and like the cluster. The Panzer was to open a pathway so he could get close enough to directly blast them because he has so much excess flesh. Excess flesh is such a phrase.
So somebody said something earlier. I forgot who it was, but y'all know who y'all are. Y'all talked about are we gonna be getting Prime off of one versus Shiggy. At this point, there's no other choice because if Deku's getting this little sidebar, what we assume to be a fight, which I would very much like, so just look a little scrimmage just to warm him up too. I would like that, and it actually helps the tension, especially somebody dies on Shiggy's battlefield, because they should. It helps the tension in that, okay, we really need Deku here because he's actually the only one that can keep us alive. Not even really beat Shiggy, but just like he can bang with this nigga for a second or like keep us alive. You know, he got MC status type of shit. It's like, all right, this is our hero. We need this nigga to actually like come save us type beat. It's getting more and more to that point because they can't fuck with him, but they're still surviving. You could come away with surviving. It's when somebody actually dies, that's when it's going to reach its culmination of Deku need here now type beat. But now that we cut away, now I see why, like, all right, now we put the tension.
Honestly, at this point, I need Deku to come into Ichigo's theme song. Like, I'm sorry, but like if you don't like peak Shonen MC arrivals if you hate on Ichigo pulling up with his theme song of all theme songs playing. That shit. Nah, Deku needs an iconic theme like that though, for real. Like he needs a theme on level of number one. Because and think about it, throughout the whole series, have we ever actually been like, Deku, get there? Because like even during our overhaul, it was like, all right, well now he needs help, but like it was also like, damn, Mirio really whooping this nigga ass with no quirk. Damn, overhaul, don't you feel like a fraud? Like it's one of those things where like this is the first time we're actually cashing in on the MC trope. Like, see, look at my people singing the song. Hey, like that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, he was like right side, finger feint.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. Who was it? Kai, shout out to Kaiser. I'm about to go pull it up now. He had sent me some shit. He made a tweet.
Like,
what I say about radio silence in my house? My fault.
I'm saying that, Jason, you can pull up the panel and look at it. Like,
okay, so Kaiser talking about clearly whatever strategy Bakugo has in mind. It's probably something to do with the fact that Shiki has never transformed his right hand during the entire fight, even when Bakugo was right in his face. And then that's what he meant by right feint.
Speaking of that, I actually have something to add on to that now that I'm thinking about it. So you know how you said his body is looking for the right form, right? Like it's searching for it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you know how his left hand was always the damaged one. So it's like his body is trying like to fix that part of his body, and it's like he's using that like to test it out a little bit is where I'm at thinking about it. Cause he should be able to use it from his right. We haven't seen it. We haven't yet. We really haven't, but that's the only reason why I could think why it's just the left. Because that's like the part of his body that needs fixing.
Let's see. Because, well, I mean, he also is currently blind in his right eye. Like, I think people are not acknowledging this, but Horikoshi makes it a point to draw eyes a certain way every time the person is blind. And currently his right eye has no pupils or anything like that because of the damage. So if you come at Shigaraki's right side, you should be able to do something with that because it isn't a blind spot. But, you know, he probably also has enhanced hearing, so that comes into play. But hey,
You're just gonna create more eyes. Like I said, you're gonna be like, I got an eye on my head. Like I got eyes, my hands, my feet. Do whatever.
And I am looking back because I think he's constantly using his left side, which is the side that had already lost fingers. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so like if we ever see his left hand just straight up normal, then I guess we'll know, like, damn, he's finally reached his peak form.
And then Kaiser also added on that another interesting thing worth pointing out. Every time Vestige for one is on screen from the War, Tartarus, and the end of Star Strike Fight, he's fusing Shiki's right side for the first time. And the first time Shiki's hand mutates is on the left side.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing I like about this aesthetic, though, is that it does actually make him, because the other thing that I don't know if I pointed it out or not, but if you remember when All for One starts rewinding, I think it's his left eye that pops back in. Or no, I can't remember.
Right.
Yeah, it's his right eye. It's the eye that Shigaraki just lost that All for One got back. And the eye that he kept that is still not visible.
Imagine if for Horikoshi, that's like this little thing there just to let him know, like, oh yeah, All for One is like gonna be out of here, this body soon.
But yeah, no, like Bakugo is definitely taking damage to his eye. I don't know if he's going to be fully blind by the end of the chapter or if he's fully blind, but because part of it also looks like that last panel, I can't tell if it's supposed to be his like right pupil being faded out or his like more like the more manic, like obsessive, like just because of that, because you know his pupils have like that raggedness to them, like he's just kind of going insane. So I can't tell which one Hori's going for in the last panel.
Sure, that's why I keep trying to tell niggas.
And he's actually, because like you can see his right pupil when he's getting his face, like his nose picked by Shiggy.
Now see that panel, like I think most people have come to the conclusion that panel is symbolism. Like it's like that death fear thing where it's like you feel like you about to die.
Smothered and suffocated, and you feel. I think it's because he feels completely helpless and utterly like.
For what it's worth, Vestige for one tried to use a quirk from Shiggy's right hand at the end of the war, and Shiggy's actual personality came back temporarily after that. Curious to see if that means anything here. It's possible. So the J. Michael Holmes, when you say like I kind of wouldn't be mad if Deku showed up stronger than we expect, I think a lot of people think Deku is still locked at that 45%. And I'm going to be honest, logically, that doesn't track. Because he fought Nagant early in April and then got worn out throughout the rest of the month. And now we're in May. He should, like, Deku never spends like that much time not going up, where he should probably have at least access to 50 to 55, maybe even 60% at this point.
Yeah, he rested. He rested 8, went back out in the field more times after that.
So he should be able to like actually access a lot more power. Man, Bakugo, Shoto, and Deku need their own themes this season. That's that season.
New gear too.
From 45 to 75, that's a major jump.
Either way, all I know for certain is that he can't use 100 because the second said that gear can't support 100%.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
so right. I mean, listen. At the end of the day, when we say Deku isn't ready, don't mean we doubt shitting on Deku. He's just not ready. Because no matter which way you could put it, the what you want to boost him up to 70%? That's not 100%. Meanwhile, Shigaraki has regen. So how much if you want to put 70%? That's still not beating Shigaraki.
And Deku breaking his limbs is still on the table.
Exactly. Then you're like, okay, well, what if he just breaks his body to beat Shiggy? It's like, okay, he's 100%. He can't. It was just like in the war, bro. He can't keep it up. And Shigaraki not getting hold like he did last time.
He straight up cannot afford that right now because bro is making more body parts.
Bro, he's gonna be like, all right, bro, you got me last time in the air. I couldn't get no quirk, but you was moving too fast because I was at 75%. You was at 100%. So you see how that worked, right? Deku at 100%, so he's getting upper hand on Shiggy, and then Shigaraki's at 75. So how you think what happens with the reverse? Which Shigaraki going hand with all his quirks, and then he can keep it up for limitless time. He's gonna keep regening because by the time he gets there, it's like by the time he gets there, it's gonna be like, all right.
Shigaraki should have infinite stamina too.
Exactly. So it's like he's gonna have all his quirks back too. So he's gonna be doubling on shit, doing all types of crazy shit. And Definitely gonna do that.
The other thing, because like my thing is like, what is Deku? Because like Deku didn't use. One, I'm gonna say he didn't use Air Force nearly enough. Two, we need to see him combine Fajin with Air Force. Because that's the only way he's gonna be able to really apply pressure to Shiggy, in my opinion, is if he's actually blasting him.
And the second.
Like whatever the second quirk is too.
And as much as people give hey, didn't I say shut up?
Yo. Not East scaring the hoes in his own house.
Nah, the second quirk has to be
pressure. No, it has to be something big. It has to be something like either pressure.
I'm expecting it to be like on a scale bigger than that howitzer, honestly. Like that howitzer kind of got me prepared for the second quirk. I'm like, all right, so if Hori's doing this with Bakugo and Shoto, then Deku's new next ability is gonna be crazy.
Oh, it's gonna have to trump what they just showcased. That's how I know. Because he gonna use it at basically maximum power. That nigga was like, all right, bro, you can't use this shit with the way you want to use it, because like
this is another beast. That's also why I can't agree with the logic that that I think that's part of the issue with the Bakugo being the second user theory too, if you think about it, because it's like he's like, you can't use it as indiscriminately as I did in my day. And it's like Bakugo was never indiscriminate with how he was exploding niggas. So it's like, it couldn't have been that good. It might have been like at most I could see it being like a precursor to the explosion Quirk family line.
Turner's something popped in the Ujiko head.
Mello, something popped in the Ujiko head for sure, but you got to read Mello's chat first because that's what sparked it.
Mellows came in and said 50% as a base, 75% for the moment of impact. With Fajin, he can work with fake 100% for a while.
Yo, all right,
key word for a while.
Ujiko brain right now. Listen, Fajin 400% is specifically 45% with Black Whip with a whole bunch of other stuff. So if he's at a higher base and higher point of impact, his Fajin low key should be over 100%. We might see like a 125% smash for real. Like that might be a little $1,000,000% callback.
Mm-hmm.
So Bakugo dying before him and Deku get to work together on some level just doesn't, like for this fight specifically, just doesn't seem to be the case. Like, in fact, as much as people are like, Eri, if Eri is going to save anybody, it's going to be Bakugo. Specifically so he can hoop next to Deku. And let's be real here, that don't even work. Because what makes y'all think Eri is at UA right now?
Bro, how will she get back up? How will she even get back up there? And even at that point, it's like, this isn't like how Mirio showed up. What in their guys' right mind, they be like, all right, let's throw this child up there so she can go ahead and boost and heal Bakugo. And even at that, bro, you do realize Shigaraki is taking on like 12 people, right? That's like 7 niggas at him on the offensive, and you got like 10 other people on support. Shifting blocks around, keeping that shit up in the sky, an electric barrier, niggas nerfing his quirks. Like, bro, you do realize like he's fighting like in reality he's fighting 7 niggas and like 17 niggas, and there's like a bunch of niggas are on a defensive, and you got niggas on offensive, and they still cannot manage to kill this nigga or actually defeat him. Bakugo got the best explosion in his face, and then you see what happened 2 seconds after that. It's like, yeah, bro, you expect me, bro? They not keeping up with this nigga to a certain extent. The best Bakugo could do is like, all right, Midoriya, you take this shot just like they did in the war. They like pull some shit like you did, like they did with Endeavor. That's the best though, because Bakugo would not be able to keep up their flying if Deku was using 100% with Shigaraki at 100%. And honestly, after that, even if y'all want to throw in 5 Gen, that only, like Melo said, it on a while keyword. Like, I understand y'all like Deku, but let's not go. Let's use logic now. Let's not go overboard and gassing them up. Stretching it, he had 70-75% on a regular. All right, that's stretching it. And even at that, that's still 100%. You want to throw in 5 Gen? That's fine. What quirks does Shigaraki have? Anybody answer me that?
Kaiser came through with the super chat and said, areas with Miss Joke as Chiketsu right now. Erase your joke agenda. First off, she's a teacher at Ketsubutsu. Second off, I want better for my man Aizawa than Miss Joke. She don't respect his boundaries enough.
Oh God! But let me talk about what I gotta find Cameron Bailey's thing because I got something to say. So Tarnish, I can't wait for Tarnish to jump up about this. Oh, you know what? That's a good segue too. I got to say about Jump Hell said. Oh, look, thank you, Cameron Bailey. You just set me up so perfectly. Do you go is dying some way? Some blind or some shit. Some say he is. Others say he's not. Though they say it's due to Bakugo's popularity in his shonen. What do you guys think? So Tarnish, I hope he here because he about to miss his. He about to miss his. Here. Now, can anybody answer me what consists in the Jump Hell set? There are 3 big major series, and what are those series that consist of the Jump Hell set?
My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Chainsaw Man.
Oh man! Now I will not. For those of you who haven't,
which I have read now.
Yes, he has now. So those.
Also, hold up. Tarnish was like, y'all didn't put me on, and I'm like, we were a Chainsaw Man support group for a while. What are you talking about?
Oh God! So for those of you that's anime only, you'll never know what popularity polls are. But I will say this: if you know, you know. Popularity and shonen, all that shit is out the fucking window. There is a literal orgy picture of lesbians on the cover of on the color pages for Chainsaw Man. That shit don't mean nothing. That's all you want to talk about. Is for kids and other. Since like I think the last study I've seen in 2017 and 18, it was actually proven that the demographic has aged up. Niggas that read Shonen Jump since they were kids are still following Shonen Jump. Like that means you grow up. You don't keep consistently going back and niggas stay the same age. So if MHA is 8 years old and you find it at then when it was aimed at niggas at 12 years old, how old do you think the niggas are now that watch that shit at 12 years old? If you have to age as a human being and over the course of 8 years, you get roughly around 20 years old, correct? So the demographic changes and grows too. They're not gonna be like, all right, you have to stay at this level because we got new people. No, your big brunt of your base is the niggas that started since day one because the sales for the series have been consistent since day one. So from there, logically, we're not gonna have that shonen shit don't mean nothing because niggas have elevated their brain and scan and their skill to understand more and want more than some cookie cutter bullshit. And Jump overall has evolved. So you saying popularity don't mean shit because if you read Chainsaw Man and you seen a popularity poll, niggas are dead. So popularity is an excuse for that, especially because we're at the end of everything. All you niggas do is I'm tired of the whole shonen excuse. It don't mean nothing. It's simply a demographic aimed at an age group. That doesn't define the way and the caliber in which you can write.
Also, what I'm gonna say is that I think that's also why like some people were like, why is like when Alpha One starts being like they start talking about his plan and like the idea of him destabilizing nations economically and taking over politically, people are like, what? This came out of left field. And I'm like, I think part of that is also the byproduct of the fact that a lot of us have been on a long journey, right? Where if you're like me, you started MHA in like 2016. So
2017 for me.
Like,
well, actually, I watched the anime, but manga 2017.
Right. So like, if you like, and I'm old, relative to like Annie's Twitter, I'm old. I'm 29. Like, so going back to 2016, I'm only, like 23 back then. That's 6 years ago. So like any political point is something that I already would have had in my mind. But if you've been reading this series since before you were 18, there's a chance that you were just, you know, in it for the cartoon, the superhero stuff. So like you didn't care about the politics because you were like 16. So why would you care?
That's good. And it's
like unless you like outside of the fact that like a lot of Gen Z is chronically on TikTok, and TikTok does talk politics, but it also kind of does it in an ignorant way at times, but that's a whole other topic. To a certain degree, it's just natural for like a lot of that political undercurrent to just be missed. So when we got to this point 8 years in, and like Corey's like, yeah, my audience has been following for 8 years. I could talk to them like adults.
Yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure, like literally, bro, you can't deny that the sales have been consistent throughout the entire run of the series. There's been no significant drop and decline. It's like, so like I'm pretty sure you're not worried about new niggas coming in 8 years late. It's like I built this story from the ground up and got to the point I want to get, like he said himself out his mouth, because y'all niggas just be taking certain things he say and only pushing for the agenda. He said, man, I finally got to a point in the story where I can write everything I want and it's all coming to a head. All the stuff I wanted to do, I can now do at that point. And plus, the Forest Camp thing don't work and don't hold the same weight anymore, because that's when he was basically like a freshman class. When he got in there, he had to worry about what everybody was caring about and thinking about. He's a veteran in the game now. So if he wants to do what he wants to do, he already said, I'm going to fight my editor and do whatever the fuck I need to do just to get that shit in. And from what I've seen since the alleged leaving of like Takuchi, and shout out to Imamura, the new editor we got right now. For what I'm seeing, I'll give her from 357 on up. And for what I'm seeing from her, she letting Horikoshi do his thing. So all that whole, he won't kill Bakugo because of popularity, this, that, and the other, that shit's a weak ass.
If Hori doesn't kill Bakugo, it's because he wants to do something with Bakugo.
Exactly.
That's why I excuse the lack of depths in the last one, and there's gonna be the makeup here now in the last one, because it's like, all right, you know what? Had we had more people dying, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
we would have looked worse off.
Back then we wanted Gina's dead. Gina's would not be here doing any of this right now.
Yeah,
he died back then.
He was saving Bakugo ass early on, giving Miracle footholds, like saving a lot of niggas.
Being the quote unquote leader of this charge.
Yeah.
Dog, I'm just glad that he straight up said, hey, Bakugo, I know you fucked up right now, but I'm gonna need you to get back in there. And then he realized Bakugo's been like, put me in, coach, the whole time. I just need to figure out the play. Like, because, so here's the thing. Like, one of my best friend loves Genius. You know, he's like, yeah, Genius is great. But I'm like, look, this man is punching above his weight class.
Like, listen, look at the damage on his face from just that one hit last chapter. That's the only time we saw him get attacked.
And that wasn't even direct damage either. That wasn't like that was just like, I'm just gonna punch the ground, and the shockwave from the damage I did to the ground gonna knock all you niggas in the next week.
That's why I said, like, we ain't see Miracle or Edshot in this chapter. I'm pretty sure the next time we see them, they're gonna be messed up just like he is, like pretty damaged.
And
hey, congrats, Jordan Pax.
Hey, happy birthday, bro. And like, that's
happy
the thing
birthday.
too, is that like with Edshot, I was like, bro, I get it, he's fast, he can go inside his body, but like, what was that nigga gonna do? Because we've talked about this. Genuinely, the reason Edshot beat Redestro is not because Edshot is stronger than Redestro. It's because Redestro was crippled because of his legs. And more importantly, Redestro legitimately cares about every single member of the Paranormal Liberation Front.
That's what I'll keep saying. Because that's the thing about being a technical ass writer. And that's like a good thing and a bad thing that be shooting him in the foot. But more so it shoots other people in the foot than it does him. Or it makes people misunderstand more than anything. Because in a day and age where niggas don't really care about actually getting shit accurate and just want to push shit for agenda just to have fun and jokes and shit like that, it's to the point where it's like, all right, bro, you really say this nigga stronger than this nigga if this nigga had technical difficulties, or like you have to take into account the setback. So it's like when we talk about Dabi and Endeavor, who win in a fight if Endeavor doesn't have the emotional trauma, but Dabi can go 150%, which we haven't even seen from him before yet. So it's like when you take that into account, like, yes, Dabi waxed Endeavor, you have the emotional mind, clout, guilt type shit. But if you don't have that, then it's a different fight, right? So it's just like you have to take into account the statistics and like what actually happens throughout a battle. And like, okay, this person lose because of this or what another. But you know, niggas don't like to really do that, especially when it comes to this series. Like, it's just like
be real. If Redestro had been in the hall instead of Skeptic when they tore that hoe up, he would have just been like, "Oh,
burden,"
and just blasted them niggas away.
As soon as Cementos opened it up, it'd have been on site for them,
bro. They need to read NBA, bro. When he didn't have nobody around, no wonder nobody was near this nigga building. This nigga was this nigga was fucking slinging power bombs and destroying fucking 10 city blocks in one fucking blast, bro. And them the shits didn't even get to go full out because Shigaraki was decaying a couple of them.
Right. I swear to God, if he was there when they opened up the mansion, it'd have been a whole different situation.
Like he was just on, like, it was just him in the forefront, like standing right there, like Shocker had came out.
And exactly. Bro, that would have been the equivalent. Replace Shocker with Redestro. That little blast he did, that Kaminari caught, replace that with Redestro doing something.
Done. Like, that whole lineup, dead kids. Like, that's just the reality of the situation. Like, dude, because like that was an attack. That was like watching like an All Might Detroit Smash. That's like if you remember from the anime when they're like All Might was like in that season 2 finale versus Bakugo and not the season, the penultimate episode, and you know when he like punches does the smash from the fucking gate and they're like wait and they get blasted away. That's how that was,
bro. That's what I'm saying too. And that's like another thing too. It's like, all right, this is how, bro, people are sleep on the advisor. It's the funniest thing ever to me because it's like, all right, bro, y'all don't realize that Shocker was just a support regimen nigga, right? He wasn't even on the Violet Vanguard action squad. He was just a literal support nigga in Brown squad. Like that's I think he was on Twice squad. But he was just a support regimen nigga. He was not that it. So if you got to realize at that point, it's like, all right, if this is just one of support niggas, what about the niggas that actually go in to kill people, right? So it's like Shocker, you know, the nigga with the electricity that got caught, first nigga get clapped in the war. You have to realize that they had a perfect counter to him, which he didn't even get to max out, because when he was about to max out, he was like, all right, let's see how much you can take that nigga for real. And then guess what happened? Then after his shit got this shit got like trapped up real quick, nigga was like, all right. He didn't
even get the fire that second one. That's when Ed Shot swooped in.
This was Ed Shot who can move at the damn speed of sound too. Top of the verse. He actually earned his spot in top 10. We gonna get to discussing top 10 niggas later, how they fraudulent. But that's not for right now.
That's why I love the Big 3 showcase this chapter, man.
Exactly. So it's like, all right, them niggas, he came in, he got hold, then got caught off guard. First of all, they got caught off guard. He pulled up, got the perfect counter off guard. Then they get speed sound blitz, which is not even his fault. And then they triple team with goddamn Midnight shooting that shit in their fucking body after they got pierced in their lungs. Then you got Kamui rapping everybody. I was like, all right, nigga, shit, who the fuck was supposed to counter that shit? It's like a Washers on the villain side. They pulled up, he the perfect counter to Endeavor, and then you got a nigga that pierced through Endeavor at speed of sound too. It's gonna be like, what the hell? You can be like, shit, Endeavor would have been out for the count too, nigga. Anybody would have damn near. They get caught off guard that bad with a perfect counters left, right, and whatever. And it's just like with Redestro, Tokyo, my dog. I gave him Ragnarok the first time, but I will not deny the fact that if Redestro had real legs, that wouldn't have happened like that. Because even Tokyo was like, yo, how the fuck this nigga stand to Ragnarok? And then he thought Dark Shadow was talking about the monster Redestro. He was like, nah, nigga, I'm not talking about that nigga. He's like, I'm talking about Maki, nigga. So it's just like niggas don't really take into account or affect like how the matchups really be going. Like if Geaton was here,
if he was at the aquarium, if Jaten was at the aquarium where Toga is, remember what he said? If I throw an ice cube in the water, I can freeze the water and make it ice. It would have been over for everybody there. He had to get rid of him.
Bro, that's what
it breaks my heart because I really like Jaten. I wanted him to get expanded upon. Like he should be around, bro. Like he was one of the coolest Liberation members.
Bro.
But if he was at the aquarium, it'd been a straight wash.
But that's why I'm saying it's like I now see why in the longer grand scheme of things why Hardcore she didn't have these heavy hitters. I'm like, all right, bro. If they had these heavy hitters, would it even be a fight? Because think about this. Everybody has 1 and 2 stances.
Bro,
right?
even if they still had Muscular on their side, like if Deku never fought him and he was still running around and he joined this fight and he was somewhere Muscular,
bro, and we still got plenty of niggas we don't know about and they dangerous as shit. From Tartarus to Scion to all the other prisons, them niggas
Moonfish is at the aquarium. That crazy nigga from the camp, he's at the aquarium.
And he got hold.
When we go back there, oh my god.
It's like, bro, and they got too high in them over there that actually putting in work and disrupting the entire battlefield. It's like when you go back, you gotta really look at the chaos that's going on. It's just like now I'm looking at it. Now I'm looking at it, the full scope of everything. I'm like, yeah, bro, it's 2 sides of this. That how everybody viewing it. Either y'all on part 2, or it's 3 sides. I guess you on part 2. You somewhere in the middle. You can see it, but you're not convinced fully yet, or you think it's all ending here. So it's like, if you think it's in here, horticulture gonna have to kind of hold and bullshit past the heroes winning. They're using logic, but they still outgunned. So they had to pull some shit. They asked to even win.
They had to split them up. If all the villains were together and they just pulled up, listen. Imagine if they were still at UA and all the villains just pulled up at UA.
Oh God, bro! And we were talking about this too.
Split up, no teleport, and nothing. The villains just pulled up. Said, "What's up?"
And I think as Horikoshi kept writing, he was realizing like, we can't find the villains. This, that, and the other. These niggas got an army on the loose, and they gather niggas. He was like, you know what? I think it'll be too one-sided if I just have all these niggas pull up and to give the villains, the villains like the preemptive strike. Because if they, like he said, like Hawk said. In that one chat, like, bro,
they make the first move.
Bro, if he said it twice, like, bro, they made the first move. Either time, we are fucked. So really, it's like, all right, bro, imagine how they made the first move with these extra key players. You put they already don't have any logical chance to win that Toga battlefield unless Ochiko gets some grand awakening AOE gravity type shit. When she got twice his blood, they already don't even have any heavy hitters on that field.
With twice his blood, Moonfish, and 2 Nomus, Hori gonna have to write his ass off to justify that battlefield.
Oh God. And they don't even have any fucking hitters on the hero side. Like if they have more niggas, I'd be like, all right, maybe they can work something out.
Like all jokes aside, like I really don't know what's gonna happen at the aquarium. Nomu, he didn't have to put 2 Nomu there. He didn't have to do that.
And they fucking up the whole battlefield, boy. And then it's like, all right, then we already know Ayama getting double. If he don't die, he getting taken out with with Fathom dying. Ayama gonna get taken out. Whether he lives or dies, him and Kunita both going down. Whether he wins or die. So it's like, okay, then you got the spinner shit. We know they got to win over there. I was like, all right. Then it's like, then you got the Maki shit. You know, the niggas kind of got to pack it up and win over there. So it's just like, if they're already kind of outmatched at every field, Dobby was the luckiest one they had because they had the perfect matchups with this nigga. All for one just played these other niggas. So it's just like, if any battlefield, but these niggas was already struggling and had to have a perfect combination, and someone just picking cards and trying to get the lucky draw. If any of these Giten, Hanabata, or fucking Redestro was at any other fucking field, bro, can you literally imagine what would have happened? Put Shocker at another field and put him at the aquarium, stand on a box and be like, all right, Thundernet, all you niggas are falling. It's just like, now I see in full picture, like, all right, bro, he really couldn't have had some of these niggas up here because it would have been a wash, not even what it would have been. It's already been like a real bad thing, but like that? Nah, nigga, that shit would have been on.
That'd have been a ridiculous wash. Like that one panel, bro, from that Hawks and Twice chapter where like it was all the villains just, oh my, if that really happened.
Like if they had made that first move, bro. Ooh, yeah, Tobufu, Trumpet, Hanabata. That, like, imagine him inciting some niggas. Oh my, spinner back, please, son. Like, I'm like, all right, bro. I see why these niggas wasn't here, cause, yeah, bro. I wanted more, but like, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes he kind of did too much. He kind of had. Niggas talk about your villains being too powerful. Nigga, the villains were too powerful as a collective. He had to pull it back. Talk about a Maru GFA, nigga. That was the whole cast. Nigga.
Wait. Yeah, Nafisa, the moment you thinking of what he did, he put like a ice cube in the sewer system. That's basically what he did. He put ice in the sewer and he froze all the water, and then he broke the ground. And that's when he used the ice. his quirk is really crazy. It's basically just straight up ice manipulation.
Bro, he created bro. Horikoshi spazzed too much with that nigga. That's why. So I want Annika here when we roast the top 10.
He pulled ice cubes, like there was stores. He got ice bags from the store. He pulled them out. Like he could just use ice, and he could lower the temperature of it to make other things cold. Ice is just his quirk. That's what I'm calling it, ice.
Yeah, ice. Just simple as that, because it's just like this shit kind of crazy, bro. Like, okay, they want us to go on the friend comment about Mirio.
Mirio. Listen, Mirio did his thing this chapter. I love that moment when he pulled up for real. He's like, the name's Lemillion. It's like a real encounter moment. He's like, so why do you destroy? It's literally like Mirio meeting Shigaraki. Like, it's a perfect moment a little bit. Like, and he's like, because the current framework has failed. And he's like, oh, I get it. You never had friends, huh? Mm-hmm. Like, I really like that moment. Like, honestly, like, it's really gonna be crazy to me if Shigaraki comes back from this, which I'm expecting, because Mirio was the one that initiated that shit. Like, I remember 2 weeks ago, we was like, where's this nigga at? Where's this nigga at? Nigga came and fixed Shigaraki.
But y'all got what y'all wanted, bro, because, man, listen, bro. That shit's so funny, bro. It's like, listen, he here now, he putting in work. And it's like, and it makes perfect sense too, because it was like, all right, we need somebody out here that's gonna be able to like fight people coming up to the thing. And it's like, all right, they got a bodyguard over there. And it's like,
honestly, I don't know why they thought anybody was gonna pull up with UA over the ocean, but you never know. But listen, if All For One pulled up, Mirio was not doing nothing about that. Like if Prime For One said fuck y'all and he flew to UA, Mirio's not stopping that.
But I think that's the best place to put Mirio low key, because it's like, all right, the only place you could put him at is to fight a heavy hitter. But if you're trying to give other niggas shine in 1A at other locations, it's like, well, there's like him being a nigga that's got to stop niggas from coming. But you know what? Let's not even put it past it. We need to cover all bases, because if somebody you never know. All For One could have like put like niggas like see like who's coming for Deku now. Some villains come out the way to come for Deku. You know, we don't know, right? So it's like, it's better to cover all bases than just to be like, ain't nobody pulling up on UA. We got this. But then what if Shigaraki was down bad and it was like all of a sudden some villains came up and then like then they took the barrier down, right? Then we would have been like, oh, you dumbass niggas should have had some defense forces out there. This and that. See, we've been clowning them niggas, right? It's just like how we did with Maki. They was like, he gonna sleep, bro. Don't even worry about that nigga. So long we take Shigaraki out first, we'll be all right. So it's like they was like, yeah, nigga, we ain't taking no more chances. We covering bases for real. And plus, he was the perfect person for like communications too.
And I love that. And you know what I'm saying? It's funny that this happens every time now, but I love that every time he pulls up, he makes it a point to say he really can't do nothing. They gonna have like, Mirio's gonna last longer than anybody else here.
Yeah, he's stronger than anybody else here, really. So
not only is he stronger, but like he can't do any damage, and Shigaraki can't hit him.
So it's like they kind of like null and void to one another. But he has backup from.
Hold on. So interestingly enough, this is something that Ian used to talk about, how he always wanted Shigaraki and Mirio to have at least one conflict where it was effectively like, yeah, Mirio isn't going to beat his ass, but Shigaraki's not going to touch him. And he just wanted Mirio to get to be that fly that Shigaraki could never swat.
I would love them to actually like box one time to like JJK style, like just for a split second to like throw hands or counter like Hikari.
We getting battle damage Mirio again for sure.
Yeah, so I can't wait till they like really box one time for the one time, but like beep, beep, boop, like you know, Hikari's and you know, Richie and Shimo type beat, you know what I'm saying? Like and you know, give me that dessert type beat, you know. I'm not full yet type beat. Like
Mirio gonna do his thing. Mirio's the strongest one here.
Yeah.
He's the strongest one here, bro.
Yeah, you reckon it's like, but you see, this is a redemption for Mirio, because I don't think it's more so. A lot of people can slide by the explanation plan point if it were that Mirio came back and he was like how Toto did in Shibuya. Because I don't want to spoil, because still like anime only. So if you know what Toto did with Shibuya, like how they came and did their thing. All right.
I
I mean,
very strong feelings about how that actually wasn't as good as what it looked like was being set up.
But the point is, like, he didn't come in and be like, somebody saved me. Where the rest of my school? Like, like if Mirio had just did his shit and then be like, oh shit, these niggas coming back again. That's like, and then he's like braced himself to fight, and then everybody pulled up. It would have made him look a lot better.
I'll also say that Mirio's character highlights.
I want crazy things.
He's supposed to always be like trying to like create funniness, make smiles, laughs wherever he goes, and it kind of highlights how people don't really want that in those kinds of fights. Because like Mirio being like, haha, save me was just supposed to be him being like funny to a certain degree and, not being able to beat the no move. So it's like, basically, I liked what was going on with Nobara, and I would have preferred if it would have been Nobara and Yuji finishing the battle than Todo coming in. Because Nobara doesn't actually get any real W's without getting help throughout the entire series. Like the entire series.
Well, we can't speak too much because we get anime only.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that has bugged me about Nobara is that she only wins if like Yuji is there with her, basically.
Hey, listen. She did her thing though, man. I'll take what I can get. If you ain't gonna get no W in your own, at least you making fights and breaking fights with support. Yeah. So yeah.
Anyways, man, who's going down first in the big three?
Tamaki. See, Mirio's too obvious. He's too up there. Last resort boxing. He's stronger than everybody. He's the least likely to take damage the whole time. He's stronger than everybody. He got to be the last one holding the line to the finish, right? And Bakugo finna do his old big shit. That's gonna be cool, but Shigaraki's still gonna come crazy after that. So it's gonna have to be Mirio last line defense. Now, the way with Tamaki, he got to redeem himself, but he got to die too.
See, I'm still on. I think Mirio's the one who gets stuck dying. Because he's untouchable and he's the peerless hero. J. Michael, my stance was documented during Shibuya and people were mad as hell about it. To this day, I say that the best JJK arc is Hidden Inventory.
Hey, listen. Plasma Vessel, Cola Games, and then Shibuya.
That I would actually put them in the same order. But that's okay. Hold on. My thing is though with like Amajiki, because I don't want to spend too much time on the JJK thing just because I know people get real mad about the not having Shibuya number one or thinking it's peak. So I don't want to spend too much
spoilers.
Time on that. But when it comes down to it, Amajiki, because he's so easily seeming to be like the weakest of the three, even though he'll say, like Mirio will say, like, oh no, he's better than me. But the issue with that is like his quirk just isn't what's needed on this battlefield. And what I would like to see that I think could get extra spicy is Bakugo has blown off several chunks of Shigaraki's flesh. What did Amajiki do during the trash trio fight?
Ate flesh. Oh.
And that's his trump card.
So if he eats a bit of Shigaraki's flesh, what happens?
What if he just explodes? Like, what if that's a crazy death? Like, and he just can't handle it. Like, that's the quirk singularity he eating, basically.
I mean, but what if he evolved? You see, the way you do that. So everybody remember what Anki just said, right? I'm gonna combine it with Jordan Pax. Also, happy birthday again, by the way, brother. Jordan Pax, well, they I don't want to assume anything. They said, I don't see Tamaki dying. Remember how Mirio always has seen him being the true great hero of the group. What better way, combining what Anaki said, what better way do you pull one of the biggest, greatest moves off and still dying in a sense of being a true hero? Like, like last words to Mirio, like, yo, you really did what a hero would do. You gave your life. You put your all on the line. You sacrificed everything. And gave your heart with plus ultra. Because even more, the more y'all push it, it's more it's like, nah, I really see this nigga dying. Like,
Because like my thing is like if we get that direction, cool. Because like my thing is like Mirio being the last line is
It's a callback to Overhaul.
Yeah, I see like, but I feel like being the last line is exactly what can get him killed, or could/should. It depends on how long it takes for Bakugo to get back in the game, also though, because that's like to me, whether or not people die, and so I know some people will just see it as me being a Bakugo fan, but sincerely, I don't like whether or not Bakugo and Nejire both are able to be in this fight or not. To me, determines whether or not people die. Because without that firepower, everybody has to get close to him. And that we've already proven that's not where you want to be.
But like, there's the only person that can do that with his little side support.
Yo, Edshot and Miracle are not in this chapter, bro.
I was gonna say something about how
Tamaki was saying that. That is hilarious. I didn't realize that till like we got on stream. I didn't even realize that like in the scans leaks, like they are not in this chapter.
No, they got tossed somewhere, and we just don't know what they're doing now.
So Mello, before we talk about your super chat and the conversation may diverge, I want to say real quick before I forget what Aniki was just saying. See, I damn near forgot it already. He was saying something along the lines of, "Oh, how you gotta get close and just that and the other." It's like, well, yeah, Mirror's the only one that can effectively kind of get close. And once again, the strongest nigga there and the only one that can get close here and there, bounce down and out. Like I said, they the only two that can really box with each other out.
Like that as Amajiki and Genus. If I'm honest, Amajiki and Genus need to be completely dedicating themselves to helping other heroes move around the map. Like their only goals in this fight at this point should be keeping Nejire, Bakugo, and Mirio alive in some way. Because now that we know Poison isn't going to do anything, Amajiki's kind of out of options.
That's what I'm saying.
Unless he eats some flesh. So it's like, their whole goal is just to make sure that those three can continuously hoop. And I will now read Mello's super chat, who came through and said, "Do you think Shiggy remembering his friends will have any impact on his final confrontation with Deku? If he gains control over VFO because of his friends, will Tenko still yearn for Deku's help?" So,
okay, you want to go first? Because I got something to say about this actually.
Tenko does not. To me, Tenko would not want what's going on, but I don't think he would. Like, I think he would still like the idea of Midoriya saving them, but he also wouldn't stand in his future self's way. That's kind of how I feel about this.
This is my thing about that. People have to realize that the demon is still inside of Tenko. He has those urges. All for one just help bring them to the complete surface. Like, if you have that dog in you, nigga, that dog is in you. Endeavor always had that dog in him. All Might brought it out to the surface. Mm-hmm. What's in you is in you as a person, as a core. Like, if they warp your mind, okay. But like when they always talk about your heart, that's what comes true. And Shonen, talk about Kingdom Hearts, all that shit. Like, it's what's in your heart is in your true heart, bro. When you self-reflect and you look deep inside your soul, that's your soul. People can try to corrupt it, but at its base, that's it. And you know how children are impressionable. Mm-hmm. He did what he wanted to do. Okay. We already passed. See, this is why I keep saying that. This is my always my sense about part 2 and like trying to make Shigaraki he's a victim, but he's not the victim that needs the saving and calling like people portray it to be. If Horikoshi wanted to do that, guess what he could have did? He could have had All For One as the big bad, Shigaraki be a prince type character, and be devoted himself for All For One. Instead of having his own independent will. And even after All For One came back, he still has his own independent will. Even now, it's 50-50 split. He has his own independent will. And multiple times throughout the series, he is NBA and the war. 270 and the whole 230 stretch. He acknowledged his past. He remembered everything. Still kept pushing forward. Thought of his friends. Like, he remembered Tenko. Remember what that nigga said to himself. Yo, I wanted to kill my family, so I did. It wasn't a tragedy. Killing my father, that gave me mad and ecstasy. And acting on my frustrations.
You don't even need the dialogue, bro. When like Tenko killed his father, you see it.
You see, like he his dad smacked him with that fucking pipe, fucked his face up. He said, man, but fuck you too, then, nigga. And he went and he killed him. That wasn't all for one. So you can't really victim blame that. And you can only do it to a certain extent because past that point, he already acknowledged when he was dead, he acknowledged what was in his heart, what happened in the past. He told him, yeah, hey, it's cool. It don't matter no more. He's like, Mom. Then his dad popped up. Yo, did you go in my study? Nigga was like, oh, no. He was like, you back, nigga. Then he decided to destroy the hand. Niggas really keep forgetting that just because something came after. It's like, you trying to step over Shigaraki. Like a lot of people really step over Shigaraki's everything just to shit on it with Deku because he's like, oh, well, he's the hero. So he has to get what he wants in the end. And then nullifying everything Shigaraki's going through. There was no point in building on this up if you're just going to push it away. Because you could just have Shigaraki be the Prince character. Then at the end, you could have had, if you want them to team up, overstep off one, you could just be like, he was tricking you the whole time. Oh my gosh, I remember everything. Let me change my heart. And we team up and we defeat him together. You could have did it like that, but it's not like that. He keeps fighting. He knows his will. He said, like you said, Dougie Fresh, stop rejecting me. He's telling that to everybody. Stop rejecting him. And you talk about the Tenko panel from During Stars and Stripes. He didn't say, oh, Midoriya, come help me. She said, yo, somebody like a true heart or a true, they're going to bring your ass down, nigga. And he acknowledged Izuku Midoriya may be a true hero. But we're already past the point of that. We're already, just because you, just like them acknowledging each other as equals and as people, we're already past that point of, well, even if you could be a hero, you're a true hero, I've already made my choice in my path. Because you have saving, what would you have did if I had killed my family, And then Deku will give his answer like, I don't, we could have did something different. And then they may give Shigaraki some solace, but that doesn't mean he's going to change his entire, my heart is free now. It's like, he's still going to be Shigaraki. He's still going to be Tenko. They still going to move forward on doing that. It's like, you can say that child, but it's going to be like, all right, you gave me the answer I was looking for back in the day, but we're here now. Like, you could have helped me stop and not do this, but guess what? I've already committed mass murder. They're not going just because you be like, well, he was a child and we could help. I saved his heart. All right, Shigaraki, you free, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why would Shigaraki give up everything? Betray his friends? They niggas that sacrificed their life and turn their back to just be like, I want to sit in the prison cell and reflect on all the things I've done. Like, you trying to take away Tenko and Shigaraki is separated. And it's just like, this is why Horikoshi made this shit more difficult than it needed to be, because it's like, all right, bro, what Tenko will take over the body? And it's like, all right, I'm a hero now. So then you would have Tenko sitting in jail?
Okay,
so
time
like,
out.
Come on.
Hold on, I do want to point out, because Kaiser just pointed something out that was kind of crazy, which was when niggas was slandering Hana Shimura on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, she was an abused child. Like, the only thing you can really say is that as the older sibling, she should have protected her little brother.
Bro, that's a funny point, because I'm going to get on that too.
Pookie, he just said, I bet there will be a beautiful chapter in the Vessel World with Kid Deku and Tenko talking. What if Deku and Tenko are talking, like, and Tenko's like, Izuku Midori, I knew you'd be here. Like, and you says Tenko sitting down, chilling. And then Deku's asking him what happened. He's like, oh, my dad just wouldn't let me be a hero. He just always stepped all over my dreams. So I killed him.
My stance on this is genuinely like, if Tenko is going to acknowledge Midoriya and he's going to treat him as a real hero, if we're going to have that like saved moment, then the only way that I see them getting like him saving, getting saved is him choosing to die.
Exactly, that's the only thing, and even in that, and that's my other way out. If y'all don't, because Shigaraki has to die, in prison in this nigga at this point, and that not only that's a stupid ass idea. Y'all already know he need to die. Backtracking that is dumb as shit, but it just don't want to sit right. But and the fact that if you don't want Deku killing him, have Shigaraki just kill himself after he lose the fight. But not like it's like I'm gonna go out on my own terms type beat, like kind of how like Killmonger did his shit. He was like, yo. All right, my ancestors knew that death was better than slavery. Like on the chains and shit, that type beat. Or like on Rush Hour 3, how even after all the shit his Jackie brother did, he's like, Kenji, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to save his brother, and he's like, yeah, nigga, you always be you, Lee. And then he just took that nigga hand off. He was like, yeah, nigga, but I'm finna die. Fuck that shit. I'm not. You can do what you want to do. You be your hero thing. I made my choice, nigga. I'm not nigga. I'm gonna like take his own life type beat. But and this is my thing, y'all. You save Tenko, what happens? Shigaraki's still there. Let's say Tenko reverts back into the adult body. that doesn't absolve all the fucking crimes he committed. Like a Full Metal Alchemist, right? Perfect example.
That doesn't even make sense to me, bro.
Exactly.
Honestly. Like Tenko taking over, like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know where this whole thing is going because like Tomura and Tenko to me were always one until that Cassie fight, and then it became separate. I'm just like, you know what? Where is he going with that specifically? Like all for one aside, like Tomura and Tenko, like where is that going?
And my thing with this is that let's say Tenko is more or less just like, yeah, I'm cool with this. I would see it impacting, like coming into play in the same way that All for One got by the vestiges inside him, where basically it'll be like right as they're about to do something important, Tenko's going to be like, actually, we've done enough. And that'll cause a delay that'll lead to an opening. But otherwise, I don't see Tenko being a factor unless he's going to directly like do the thing that like happened to All for One.
Exactly. So it's like, and like Karen Bailey said, imagine in Midori, this kind of gas. Imagine Midori and Tenko are talking, and then Shigaraki appears and said, now Tenko, you know you shouldn't tell secrets, and kills him, like, you know, dust him off or whatever. And if you see, he said, if you see Batman, then you should know what I'm talking about. It sounds familiar, but regardless, that shit gas.
Yeah, I'm not. I need what I said to happen now. I need Tenko to explain what happened with his family in such a casual manner. And like I need him to say it so casually that there's like this horrified face on Child Deku, like what?
And it's just like, why would you like? But he was just like, nah, nigga. They stood in my way. They kept putting me down, so I had to rise up, nigga. And I don't know. And you see how funny it is. The more you talk about this shit logistically, because bro. How long does it take you to build some trust before you call somebody, this is my nigga, this is my goal, this is my girl, this is my wife, this is like, et cetera, et cetera. How long does it take you to build trust? Damn near a lifetime, right? It takes you 5 months to a year. They have to prove themselves trial by trial. When you're down, when you're bad, it comes a moment when you know there are people that you can, blood or not, call your family. You could trust with your life or you want to share your life with. There comes that time in that moment in your life when that happens, right? But at the same vein, all it takes is 2 fucking seconds and the flip is switched, huh? And you're cut. 1 second to break the trust, but it takes 1,000,000 years just to build it. You see that, right? That's it. And it's like, I'm going based off of everything this nigga has shown me throughout this entire series. He hasn't failed me once. Some shit's taking longer than he, and some shit I ain't been the biggest fan of, but he's never outright failed me or done some absolutely bullshit or ludicrous shit. So the more logically I talk about this shit and I just throw shit out there, just be like, oh, well, it's Shonen. He's got to win because he's the MC. How do they logically win? I don't know, but he said he's going to end it. So if he's going to end it, he's probably just going to rush through based off what statistics do I have. Well, he said this. It's like, well, he's never done anything illogical to me so far. I haven't seen any random power-ups that haven't, like, you know, so it's just like every time niggas just spout nonsense and bullshit without facts to back it up or based on data and logic that's been backed up for the past 8 years. Also, how long you've been reading? I just go be like, all right, bro, show me some logic, show me some data. What am I supposed to go off of? Because he got my trust. And I'm not finna just be like, oh, he said some words, so I'm gonna freak out and just throw him out the window. Fuck that
One
shit,
of the
nigga.
things that I think could come into play also is specifically that, let's say Tenko does cause delay. The only reason that the other thing that I can see is that, like, let's say Bakugo does get back in here. I could see it being a case of, because Tenko is distracted and has his guard down, somebody else finishes the job just to keep Deku's hands clean and have him maintain his ideology. But at that point, it would be more like, it's nice that you wanted to save him, Deku, but no.
You see, but then that comes like a
that'd be a kill steal too.
Yeah, and that would come as like that would leave a sour taste because what would it be like? Bago like, I got the last thing, but at the same time, that'd be like, all right, so
that would be Bakugo. Like, I don't even think Bakugo would be like, I got the last hit. He would be like, this is what you needed to do, kind of like we couldn't take that chance. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that'd be a little.
You know what would be?
That'd be too.
Yeah. It'd be heat, like if it was like a little Naruto callback, you know, when Naruto bodied Kakuzu and then Kakashi finished the job. I imagine if Aizawa really stabbed him with that knife at the end, he was like,
yeah, like something like that, like just something that like I could see to like just kind of keep Deku's hands clean, just because he isn't gonna want to finish the job.
But you know what? at the end of the day, if that was the case, it had to be solidified. That would have to happen in the part 2 because that can't happen in part 1. Because you know what, that nigga is not really earned and repped up to a top number 1 spot. What has he truly lost in order to say like, all right, Deku, no, they earned this W. They earned the title to be number 1. They earned the right to lead this new world because he's barely experienced the shit from the guy and taking that in and been barely a fleshling in the world and a fucked up world seeing the true colors. And I don't even think he fully sees the true colors of everything in the world yet. He's not there for me mentally or physically yet. So it's like, all right, so you're just going, then you're gonna have him not dirty his hands on top of beating Shigaraki too. That's too easy of a cop out. All Might had to lose. Honestly, All Might had to lose for years.
Deku is in for a real rude awakening when we get back here. Like when Deku gets to this battlefield, we're literally gonna get everything that everybody's been asking for. Like he's gonna see Bakugo all messed up. He's gonna probably see some people dead, injured, like maimed.
And then that would be a justification for the cover page. He would have used that 30.
Yeah,
bless you. Now, nigga was talking about, it's a fun, but he didn't use it in the cover of him holding and crippled bodies.
He wants to save Shigaraki, so he's not even fighting really. He's not even on the same wavelength as everybody else when he gets there. So it's gonna be a different type of fight.
Exactly.
And then when he finds out everything that he doesn't know, he's gonna get new information on top of that. Like when Deku gets here, like we're in for some story for real. Yeah, I see why he delayed it.
Yeah, and and it's like Deku's too stuck up in his ways and too pig-headed. He's not learning. And this is the thing about y'all have to stop about this whole Deku. I'm waiting till Aniki get back. So I had to wait till Aniki you got back so you could elaborate too. You have to stop with this whole Deku not killing because he don't want to kill. It's not about what he wants, okay?
Right.
You have the weight of the entire world on your shoulders, brother. It ain't about I don't want to kill Shigaraki. Like, it's okay. You want to attempt to touch the child in his soul because you can go to a different dimension and do that. At the end of the day, the physical manifestation of this nigga's dreams of reality and hatred is still moving. It's killing people. It needs to go, bro. You can't just, I don't want to do it, so I'm not going to do it. And that's
my thing with this is that it's fair for him to have hesitancy because he's not in the same position All Might was.
That's okay. But it's my thing is not, and it's not about it being raw. I don't want Deku to kill Shigaraki because it's raw. Shigaraki needs to die for benefit of his character because in prison cell is nowhere. You didn't have to give him all the power. You're gonna sit that nigga in a prison cell. You should have never made him an unstoppable being. And all you're gonna do is put an unstoppable being in a prison. No, that's not how that works. Who that can regenerate and has superhuman strength beyond anybody without a quirk? No, that shit don't. No, this just don't make any type of sense. On top of that, it's not about him being raw. It's about what he needs to do. Because that's the right thing to do because it's for the greater good of anything. I understand him having his hesitancy. That's not a problem. But you're gonna have to come to terms with the fact that it's an adult world, nigga.
It's in the story set up like even Nana, like Shigaraki's grandmother. She's like, "Can you kill him?"
Like you're being selfish to a certain extent. It's like, all right, bro.
Oh no, 100%. Like I've always this is always my biggest issue with Batman. Like on one hand, I no longer can, it's hard for me to enjoy a Batman that kills, specifically because of how intrinsic it is to his character, where I'm like, whoa, you deviated. But also, Batman, look, I'm going to be real with you. If I was Batman, the Joker had one gas attack before he was going to just end up missing.
He had two prison breaks before I was killing him, to be honest.
Like, you got one gas attack, my boy.
Shit, y'all better than me. I would have knocked that nigga sideways, and the first time he pulled some shit, I'm like, yeah, you gotta go.
What I'm like, think about how quickly though the Joker starts with gas attacks. That man basically has 3 crimes before he's dead. Like if I walk into a bank and I see a bunch of niggas laughing because you done gassed everybody in here, it's over. I'm killing you.
I would just choke the nigga. You ruined so many lives, nigga.
Like
you gotta go.
I just came in here and saw a bunch of people looking like they on coke and they never gonna recover.
Shout out to Jason Todd. He knew the path to be better than bad. But nah, it's like, I understand what you're saying, Alves, too. And King of Wolves understands. That's the thing that always gets me too. People like in the MHA, I don't understand what it is with just cherry picking shit. Why do people take certain pieces of information and view it through a filtered lens in which they want to see and then place it to push their objective rather than being fair and complete. I'm like, God damn, I never seen so much hypocrisy and cherry picking and filtered lenses in my entire fucking life, bro. Y'all niggas these niggas really be picking and choosing what they want to hear. Oh, Deku said he gonna say that nigga. He want to say the child, making fun of the paper. Like, hey, bro. In the same chapter, he just said, I'm gonna have to kill that nigga, but I don't know until I try. That's the thing.
And that I don't know is why I'm like, somebody else might end up finishing the job for Deku. Because I don't know if like if Deku has that nigga beaten into submission and he's standing over him, there's like totally that chance for him to be like, man, now I'm just whooping a nigga while he's down, because he ain't got that. Because like, you know, All Might, like if you think about it, All Might, when he removed that nigga's skull, that was a grown ass All Might. That was All Might at like 30, 40. Technically, that was All Might at like 51, 50. He was tired of having to chase that nigga down. Like,
hey, bro, listen, bro. Y'all understand?
That's some real beef, bro.
Like, nigga,
that beef between All Might and All For One, that will never be replicated. Like, nigga, beef?
Nigga, that was a 50-year beef, bro. I would have killed that nigga too, bro. I'm like, nigga.
Like, that's why I'm like, Deku has been in this game for like a year or two.
That's why
he's still technically a rookie.
He not even technically. He just now seeing some shit. Like he just experiencing the Nagan shit, which he ain't fully processed yet. Them niggas ain't, like I said, bro. They're not ready mentally or physically. He ain't showed me. He's like, he got a different approach, which is cool. That's the best thing he showed me, which how far he surpassed All Might. A slightly different approach, like a better approach to handling and understanding the world. And even then, he's not prepared. He don't got the clout. He don't got the power fully yet under his like, nah, man. It's just like, come on now.
Like, and also like whether or not there's Quirk erasing bullets, because at the end of the day, we know that they hit up Garaki's labs, so they probably got some of his data.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. At this point, I don't know what the Quirk bullets are doing in his body.
And that's the other thing too, is that like, it's like, man, even if you put a Quirk erasing bullet in there, is that gonna matter? Because even if this is truly not Quirks, if his body can still do this without Quirks, then shit, it don't matter.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like,
right? Like,
that's what I'm
saying. So many things now. Like this body manipulation. Like this is really hacks. This is some real MHA hacks right here, bro. Like
that's what I'm
saying. His quirks are erased, y'all. He's creating mouths in his shoulder. He has fingers everywhere. They said he could use decay from them. These are hacks. Like, he is OP.
Bro, that's what that, bro. Come on now. It's like, you have to realize something, nigga. This ain't even, right? He had 50%, nigga. Really 40%.
Mm-hmm.
He had 40%, and can't nobody even keep up with this nigga.
So no quirks.
No quirk.
It's just,
it's like, you can't put that, you gonna fuck Tartarus, nigga. You gotta put that nigga in one tomb at the bottom of the ocean.
If Sun Eater did what he did just now in the war, it might have did something.
But now,
might have did something crazy. He might have died.
Yeah, but
right? He's laughing at him. Spit it out.
Pathetic. That nigga crazy, bro. Cameron Bailey, you said people wanted MHA to be an amalgamation of DC and Marvel. Hey, man, I don't know, kind of more so Marvel, but hey, man, listen. But
also,
listen,
yes, Alan Walker is amazing.
Bro, the Quirk singularity did not disappoint at all so far. It has not disappointed.
Because like the other thing about this is that this kind of means that it's possible that a nigga or like a woman could give birth to a baby, and then all of a sudden, like if that baby is actually a post singularity baby, can you imagine a baby having this ability to just change its body whimsically?
Nigga, can you imagine the super strength these motherfuckers will have just to keep up with that shit? They already gonna be built different physically. Like bro, imagine fuck Hawk shit. Imagine if like real simply enough, there's a black hole quirk, and I never talk about 13, talking about like the one that Robot No One was using against Miracle, the one that the ability that took off her arm. Place that. Whoever had that quirk, let's say it's a chick, right? Real bad bitch, because it's horticulture. She go around, she out one night, and she sleep with some lame ass, snake ass, bitch ass nigga who just happen to have feathers as a quirk, right? And he can shoot them through the sky and all around, you know what I'm saying? And like red, let's just say they red, you know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about anybody specific, whatever. But this bitch ass, snake ass nigga with wings on his back, can control him like telepathically. You know what I'm saying? The bitch ass nigga that she slept with. And now the lady with the black quirk and the feathers, they combine. And not only can this nigga shoot feathers, but he can shoot black holes from the feathers in that regard. So that's highly possible in this next generation because the niggas that at remedial course were already fucking insane. And so let's imagine another 2 generations go past. Nigga, what the fuck?
Yo, Cassie was in like her 40s, right? Imagine the next time we see the US, we see her kids. She got like 3 kids.
Dog, if Cassie had a kid, bruh, like at that point, that's just gonna be Franklin Richards. If Cassie had Cassie's grandbaby would just be Franklin Richards. She had to die. The world wasn't ready for that.
Man, listen. Alves, I hope I didn't. No, Tyler, I ain't letting shit go. Laugh my ass on Karen Bailey. But hey, man, listen. That's that, bro. Really, real talk. You can might as well, bro. Just be like, all right. Like, just like, bro. Imagine if she had a son. Imagine Cassie had a son, and that nigga slept with Momo when they were older. That heck, nigga. Oh my god. Really, real life. Frank religious to be like, all right. You know what? This nigga create new worlds and shit,
bro. Like, also, this is why, like, I'm sure y'all have seen me be like, I don't know how they're gonna do Phase 6 properly if they not introducing the Fantastic Four until Phase 6. Because 1, Secret Wars needs more build-up, but 2, the solution to Secret Wars was literally Franklin Richards recreating the multiverse and shaving off chunks of Molecule Man and sticking them in each universe, and then him just tossing it like a frisbee.
You see, this is my thing. This is why what you said is exactly why I didn't flinch when I seen Secret Wars. I was like, okay, cool. It's in like Phase 6.
Because I'm like, y'all not gonna do this right. Because like so I'm like, how are we gonna do this?
That's what I'm like. That's why I was like, okay, nigga. whatever you say, go ahead. You do that, buddy. You take care of that one. You got it. So how much more time we got left? Because I still got like a couple, like 2 topics I want to
do. Actually, also real quick, I do want to
get that out the way.
Talk about how the channel might have some issues depending on how these next 2 months go. So my job has effectively laid off 620 people across the country. And so depending on what job I end up getting, because I was one of 21 out of 27 Milwaukee-based supervisors that was laid off in this job process. If I end up working something that I'm just like stuck working Sundays, then I don't know how we're gonna do this. And that's just kind of like the reality of the situation. I'm gonna try to find a job that I don't have to work Sunday or weekends for, but they kind of like just sprung it on us. So that's something that I'm gonna be having to take more time to do and like finding a new job and stuff like that. So if so I just want to make sure that these next couple of streams, we have a lot of fun. I actually did reach out to another podcast crew that should be popping by sometime in August. Oh yeah, and the crazy thing about this layoff is that they specifically like a month or 2 ago made us tell our subordinates that their jobs were safe. They were like, you guys got to let them know. And I'm gonna be real with you, I did not adhere to that rule. I did not tell people that their jobs were safe. I directly told them because we effectively dissolved our recruiting department. And I was like, oh no, because they were like, they canceled classes of people who they had told they were gonna have a job. And so what I told a lot of my subordinates was like, any company that freezes hiring is willing to start firing. And they needed to make sure that they were doing their job to the best of their ability. So I definitely went against the grain on that one. And I'm glad I did, because it made my subordinates really try hard. And so far, most of them have gotten to keep their jobs. But with the technological development that we've had, more than likely, a lot of my team is going to get fired in a second round of layoffs because, and it's like public knowledge. There's an article about it where they're like, hey, we created this extra technology that's slightly different and gave a new option to our users, because effectively I work for what's called the TRS, which basically means a telephone relay service. The whole point of these kinds of companies is to provide phones that allow deaf people to use phones normally without issue. And these companies effectively are all trying to advance their technology in such a way that they can cut out as many people as possible while still gathering in tons of tax dollars. I'm trying to figure out a way so that I can do a video on this topic without violating the NDA that I had to sign. And that's looking to be kind of tough. But with the application and development of this new technology, it is abundantly clear that anybody who is like a veteran at this job is not safe. So I've made it a point to tell everybody, just like I did before, I'm doing it now. If you are trained in this old version of the technology, expect to be fired because of the fact that we like, and they were like, they when they did this layoff email, they said it was about quality. And I can assure you that there are people who have been working for this company less than a year who have terrible attendance or can't show up to work on time while working from home that did not get laid off. And it's because they are the cheapest workers. One of my people got in trouble and had to sign 6 different pieces of paperwork for the amount of trouble they got into in 1 week. And they did not get laid off because they have been here less than 6 months and make the literal base starting pay. So basically every veteran, people who have worked for this company for 10, 15 years, they're gonna get the boot. And that's just the reality of the situation. So make sure if you ever work in a corporate environment, you understand that if you ever become too valuable, you might as well find a new job because there's a chance you will be laid off. And that's just the reality of the situation. So like I said, I'm gonna try to make sure I get a new job that lets me still do this, but understand that there's a chance that I'll get a job that will cut into Sundays. And that'll get in the way. Oh yeah. And
so you want to tell them you want to bring out the other underline?
I could give them
you
the
want to
good
wait
news, but I'm gonna wait for that.
Go wait, okay.
Actually, no, I'll tell them the good news.
Okay.
Because the other thing is that Aniki is also going to be a father.
Yeah. What?
And I found that out about like 4 days before the layoff came out. So y'all got some little bishops on the way because based on these symptoms, it looks like we might have more than one than the other. So,
yes, sir. Oh.
Nope, the guy with the Yamamoto PFP got fired too.
Damn.
They gutted the admin department. Like they straight up like they promoted, like look at it this way, like not talking about the CEO, but like the boss of my like immediate location, right? This dude retired back in May. They promoted this other guy in May to take his position, and that dude is fired in December 31st. So they gave him a position so that he could help organize this switch to remote, and then fired him.
It's so funny how like Aniki just dropped that big ass bar and that big ass twat twist on y'all, and then like he just went back to talk about this.
Regular Aniki shit.
And then everybody in the chat is going crazy. What?
What? Look. So
Regular.
one of the rules, so understand that if we get to keep the content, as we get closer to the 3rd trimester and to the delivery date, I'm going to be in Omniki smash mode. You will only see me with the mustache. One of the things that my woman and I, my fiance and I agreed on is that when our baby gets here, I will have a dad stash.
Oh man, dad stash.
That shit crazy, boy. I was wondering if I was like, is he? You gotta tell him the good news because it's like the underlying.
Also, because I'm glad, Teenage, you mentioned financial services. Oh yes, that like us, we were like super excited. We're like, oh, we're gonna be working remote, so we're not even gonna have to get like childcare. We're gonna just be at home with our baby. It's gonna be sweet. And then it was like, by the way, we laying y'all off. But also to understand the level of like messed up this company is that I started doing more research because, like I said, I wanted to be able to like kind of talk about the level of like fucked upness that these companies all have. Like an alternative company that isn't my company, that is a subsidiary of Ultratech, but rather one that's called Sorensen Communications LLC, specifically got stuck paying back $40 million to the FCC because they misrepresented their budget, which is something that keeps happening with TRS companies. They keep misrepresenting their budgets. You can find this on the FCC website. This is all public knowledge. And effectively what they were doing was they were purposely like giving doctors and healthcare professionals like incentives to pass their phones out, to the extent that there ended up being $28 million in revenue that they generated that they weren't supposed to get. And understand this, if you live in America and you own a telephone, if you have a cell phone, if you have a regular phone, you are paying these companies. There is a tax on every phone because of the Americans with Disability Act pulling from everybody's phone to fund these projects. So understand that like you have bought my CEO's Jaguar collection that he keeps in the basement to flash and like stunt on the people at the Madison location. His wife is our CFO. That's the level of like nepotism we're talking about and like exploitation of stuff. So if I can't do it, maybe one of y'all want to poke around on the FCC website, make a project out of it. But yeah, that's the level of corruption we got going on here.
Man, listen, that's crazy. That's crazy. But you know, speaking of CFOs, bro, man, listen, I ain't gonna tell you, bro. My last job, man, Asian CFO named Cindy. Oh my God, man. Listen. Oh, good Lord. I ain't in defeat, but anyway, let's get back to MHA, y'all.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure y'all knew that in case these next couple streams end up being the last ones.
Yeah.
So make sure you show up so we can all have fun together at least.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. So
and I'll also say this though, I do have like an optimistic line already, like a couple optimistic job lines already, and one of them would make it where I could work Monday through Friday and nothing bad will happen. And I'll probably more reliably get up in the morning because if I get this job, it'll be first shift. So
but yeah, y'all. All I could basically say, before you can fuck me, I fuck you. I fuck you a long time. Like I taught these niggas the truth. Jordan Pax, I no comment. I plead the fifth. Anyway, speaking of that. Speaking of pleading the fifth, we all know that's a term, you know, in law, in court, right? So I want to see it. So I wonder if anybody can guess where I'm finna segue to. No, probably not. But in the terms of learning law in court, you know what I'm saying? I always had this interest in the intrigue and lawyers and the courtroom and stuff, this and other, and like mafia and shit like that. So when I see something like that and it's a character, it resonates with me. I'm talking about none other than Higuruma. And we all know what series that's. See how series he's from is JJK. And don't worry, it's not a spoiler. It's just another character. You have no information about him. But the level at which he's at and the way nobody had any real complaints that he reached the level that he reached kind of at the snap of a finger. Mm-hmm. It's kind of interesting to me. But, you know, sometimes here and there, people have certain gripes with JJKs overall, right? Mm-hmm. But then we got MHA where niggas pick at everything you do and everything you get in trouble with, right? Because it's the oldest. But wait, if MHA is the oldest, JJK is the middle child. If we follow the rules of the Jump Hell set, that means Chainsaw Man's the third child. Wow. And you know what? My mind's exploding right now. I say sarcastically. Because as we keep going, I noticed something. The oldest child gets slack for every single fucking thing, whether it was warranted or not. The middle child gets to slide with majority of things, but the oldest child already went through it, so they don't really have to do that. But the youngest, the baby, gets to do whatever the fuck they want out of the entire trio. And this is an undeniable fact, which I've seen time and time again in the set of threes. The youngest child, or even groups of more, they don't care. They don't give a fuck what the baby does. I've seen this countless times. So within this Jump Hell set, it's literally proven fact. Every fucking week, somebody got a problem with this nigga Horikoshi doing some shit. No, ain't no spoilers for Chainsaw Man. I don't spoil any series. I mean, name drop a character or something, but or hint at an event, but that's only if you know, you know. I'll never directly spoil anything. Yeah. But MHA flack every week. Niggas can't wait a split second for you can get an explanation, and they already on whooping this nigga Horikoshi ass. JJK get a lot of shit to slide, like a new character pop up where they shouldn't be without any explanation, but it's just raw. So, you know, they get to let it slide, but sometimes they get flack here and there, aka middle child. Chainsaw Man. Fujimoto has the most insane pace I've ever seen, and some shit just be fucking happening with no explanation whatsoever. But because it's already set with that precedent and it's just that raw, it gets to just fly. Like let's talk to our new person. Hopefully he's here. Tarnish. There's a new reader, Chainsaw Man, that just finished it not too long ago. How fast is the fucking pace of Chainsaw Man?
Well, that pacing is light speed.
This thing, what? It took you like what 3-4 days to finish that shit?
Honestly, bro, I think like there was one night. I think it was Monday. It was Monday where I started on like chapter 50. I was going like, you know what I'm saying? I was giving it in doses at first. When I read, I like to digest. It was doses at first. Once I got to like the 50s and things really started popping off, I could not stop.
Look, there's a reason why like the Twitter meme was CSM pacing. Like when you would see a news article where it was like small child goes to school and it blew up and somebody would be like Chainsaw Man pacing in this headline.
Oh God. Oh God. I don't know if y'all see that one video, bro. But it was one video like niggas was in a bathroom, whatever. And it was like niggas kept doing random shit every 2 seconds. You couldn't figure out what's gonna happen.
Like, son, bro. Chapter 60, when eye patch pulled up.
Yo, like for what, bro? Bro, I'm telling you, and you see how with that series, it's just like with that shit, anything Chainsaw Man was doing, nobody was actually questioning. They was like, all right, we just let it slide. Well, it's just Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man just does it. Now, Horikoshi picking up pace here and there or going faster because the world is already built or whatever have you. It's just like, all right, you let Fujimoto do it because it's just Fujimoto or whatever. And me and Coffee talked about this. It's like, well, we expect this from this person, so they can't do anything different. And he wasn't him there, but that's why people always take it in account as like, all right, Horikoshi can't do this because of that. And it's like, you know, well, we expect him to maneuver just like this every step. He can't evolve as a writer or have more cachet or have more trust. It's just like, well, damn, nigga. It's just because he has to write like this. It's like the expectation of you to write a specific certain way that you can't evolve all right through that. And it's like with JJK, they just bring up new shit all the damn time, but it's like, or somebody pop up somewhere they shouldn't really been. Like the last recent chapter was like, how the fuck that nigga come back out of the blue like this? We had the theories, but nobody's like, man, KK better explain this shit next week, or else I swear to God, this, that, and other. Like nobody's like that. Nobody cares. If they throw it off panel and that nigga just like, I came back because of this nigga, I'm like, all right, cool. That ain't no big deal.
What I will say is that there actually is an opposite energy in JJK. It just doesn't get talked about a lot. If you go to a specific fight in Shibuya where we get the revelation of an angel type being, I'm purposely not going to use the name of this creature just because
so y'all know, I don't even know what he's talking about right now until he goes into detail.
There's specifically explained that there's actually is a form of like naturally occurring positive energy. And it was specifically on a weapon that it was explained with, where it was like this one taps curses even special grades, basically, is like how that weapon works because it's made of positive energy.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And so that's actually been what my explanation for Yuji and Maki and Toji has always been, is that when they talk about how there's heavenly restrictions, I think that genuinely does lead to a form of positive energy, but in the sense that, because when you think about reverse curse technique, or is positive energy born of negativity that is used to heal. So when you have just raw positive energy, you don't need that to heal, you use it for enforcing. This is also what I think makes Yuji special, is that he both has the blessing of what a heavenly restricted body is supposed to be like, while also having access to cursed energy. And that's what I think is going to make, like, Yuji is very much an Ichigo type character, where he's like a blend of things, and it's kind of obvious at this point.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah.
But to my point, you see what I'm saying? It's like they got middle children, you got the baby, Fujimoto, Chainsaw Man, get to do whatever the fuck they want. Nobody bitched than these niggas. Got a lesbian orgy on the cover. The fuck, nigga? Fuck all the blood, guts, gore, and paste. Niggas just got lesbian shit on the cover. What the fuck?
Nah, that sounds crazy.
Then you got JJK gets away with some stuff, not everything. but it mostly is just overlooked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you got MHA, the firstborn, other hell set. And then it's like, all right, microscopic lens, everything you did, scrutinize all that.
If Mirio showed up the way he did in any other series, it'd have been on a TL raw. But in MHA, it's like, why are you here? How did you get here? Why wasn't we told this before that he was gonna be here?
Before the last fight, not counting the current fight that just started in the new colony, the last fight in the fucking Colon games, nigga, he just popped up.
Look, MHA is the Choso of this generation of Shonen Jump. MHA has to take all the hits and walk that path to create a path for his little brothers so that they can go on and do what they need to do. And if you actually think back to like the interviews, back when like, if you remember, East had the name Horipi for a while because it was in reference to a nickname that the younger generation of mangaka gave Hori. Because they're like, thank you for creating this path for us. Thanks for like letting us feel free. Like they straight up said, like, bro, we be trying to get Horikoshi's approval.
You the
like
goat.
The dick eating was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like
it was. The dick eating was crazy. It was. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, but not like it wasn't warranted. But you know it was.
Like, yeah, I'm not saying that he's not a good author. I'm just saying they was dick eating in that interview. I was like, damn.
Right. Yeah. How long y'all gonna be on? How much we got left?
No, I think we're wrapping up. We're getting close. I think there's one last thing.
I want to talk about this real quick before we wrap everything up real quick.
Because I got somewhere to go outside before it closes type shit.
Okay, I got you. So I already talked about that. Also, I'm gonna talk about this thing real quick, brush over, and then we can talk about it. The closing thing will be a top 10, and as a joke, what they are as a joke. But real quick, I just want to put this out there real quick. Not showcasing and not caring are completely two different things, and they reach the wrong assumptions about what these niggas base off of. Horikoshi not caring or rushing or this, that, and the other. You base his ass assumptions that he's just rushing and he don't care are not justified to me, even more so now that he just keeps extending, adding phase 2s to each battlefield, and he's relapping shit up, adding shit he didn't need to add, doing shit he didn't need to do. So all you niggas saying he rushing, I don't know what the fuck you talking about, more so than anything. And then it's like, I don't know, it just leads to the wrong assumptions that these niggas just don't know what they talk about like that. It's just like, all right, bro, thought he said the end of the year, but clearly it's not going like that. So now, but I'm gonna want on copium, right? I just don't want it to end, right? But now you're gonna have to switch your words back and a little bit here more to my side. And then it's gonna be like, well, mangaka say this all the time. It's like
niggas expect my hero to end December 31st.
Oh God, I'm like, all right, bro. I'm like using your logic in your head, bro. There was no way.
And we don't even get chapters that. Come on now, we gonna have plenty of breaks by then.
Oh God, he taking his sweet and precious time to me. Nigga taking his time, bro. And then so another thing is this. I don't know what's wrong with any of y'all, but just because it ain't been showcased, don't mean it's not. Don't mean it don't exist anymore. Don't care what you talk about. Shigaraki still gives a fuck about the league. It was even literally just showing a glimpse of it. When this nigga was just like, he touched the ground, it was like, Dobby. He about to warn Dobby about something. And Dobby had, he got crazy because he seen his dad and shit. They were going all stupid real quick. So it's just like, all right, bro. Come on now. It's just like, he cares. Like, I'm not saying you ain't seen it being portrayed, but it's not like niggas are neglecting or not saying that hasn't happened. It's just being savored. He literally did how we became Heroes Minus Part 1. Means he still gives a fuck about the league. Really don't care what you're trying to talk about. Like, he still has cared and feelings. Like, why would that go away? What reason would that have to go away?
Hold up. I just want to address something that was said in the chat by Ninja Starfish 23. Homie said he checked out MHA Twitter for the first time in years, and these people got to talk about something else.
That shit crazy.
And it's true. Because I'm sorry. Like that baseball thing, that was insane. That was insane. Oh,
niggas need to go. I don't know, bro. Now I see why niggas say niggas need to go outside and touch some grass.
Like, bro, he used the baseball metaphor. Like, bro.
I was like, bro, what? Oh, this what y'all talking about? Because he said Grand Slam? That isn't in Bakugo's character to say such a phrase. Nigga,
like,
all right, bro.
Like, I'm like, bro, a competitive nigga using sports terminology is all right.
Yeah, what a surprise. But nah, nigga, if you don't niggas that don't think Shigaraki care about the league, you bugging. That's not even a discussion that needs to be had. There's no literal reason why he would just like, all right, fuck the league. No reason at all why he would say that whatsoever. Even if he got his ultimate power, nigga was like, hey yo, bring my niggas. You finna go stupid. It's like you do realize he has other concerns, right? I'm not gonna talk about twice because that's gonna wrap back around. You do realize he's having his body hijacked by a nutsack amalgamation face ass nigga, right? So I'm pretty sure. Excuse me if I'm not hugging my niggas left and right every 2 seconds. Cause I had this nigga taking on my fucking body. And I gotta fight this nigga just to have 50-50. So excuse me if I have a little bit going on inside my brain. I have a literal person trying to hijack my body and my will and use it as a meat puppet. The fuck? But like, come on now, nigga. Be a little bit more realistic on that point. And then when he got back to the cave after he said, after I awoken, it's been this fuzzy type thing real quick. And it was like, all right, bro, it's kind of both of us in this together. Then he got back to the cave and his body falling apart and he in agony. Excuse me if I got time to have tea time with my niggas. The fuck? But off of that, that's the last topic I want to talk about. Tarnish got time. We can just talk about how the lower 5 or the top 10 is a joke. The biggest joke I've seen.
10.
The biggest joke I've seen in any medium.
That whole conversation we had is honestly a lot more crazier now that I realize that Edshot and Miracle didn't get back up. Because I'm like, damn, yo, like Kamui doing bad, Edshot doing bad, Miracle doing a little bad.
I mean, okay.
Genus is mid right now to me. Like Genus isn't completely dirt to me yet because he hasn't gotten his ass whooped, but it's more like, what are you doing for real?
No, like so the thing is that like Genus is legitimately one of those characters that is in the top. Like Genus kind of highlights the issue with the top 10 heroes and like how popularity was like too important in it. Like if you're gonna have a top 10 hero system, it should only be measuring like who's solving the most crime and doing like the most work. Like popularity can matter, but Genius.
Even Hawk said that low key. He was like, "Y'all here doing PR? Like we just lost our number one, All Might. Like things are bad right now."
And like the thing is that Hawks wanting to be like Endeavor is why Hawks and Endeavor look way better in like their fight than Mirko, Edshot, and Genius look in this one. Not just because Melvin is more powerful, but also because those two wasn't looking for other people to save them. Genius was too busy doing fashion shows when he should have been lifting weights.
Hey, listen. He got the finesse. He can finesse his quirk like God. So you know what? I'll let the nigga slide.
He got good skill. He do got good skill. But he did need more muscle mass on him though. I ain't gonna cap.
Like, bro.
I don't think his quirk is the reason for him looking like that.
No, he just don't work out enough.
Hawks ain't built either. I think it just slim skin.
Yo, listen, the thing about Hawks though, for me, like what really hits me about him every time, he's really fast, bro. Like even with his prosthetic wings right now, like he is fast.
Also, the thing with Hawks is that he's specifically built small because of his quirk, because he's a bird. Like birds technically have hollow bones. You ever suck the marrow out of a chicken leg? Like, come on.
All right. Well, you know what? Guess what? Then if we go in there, fashion model is supposed to be skinny. Yeah, I got shit too. Look at me trying to save Jesus. I got you, bro. You better give me no new sneakers, nigga, for real. I ain't playing with you. Huh?
Also,
y'all said something?
Actually, Jordan Pax, you spitting because like Gran Torino is like a veteran, like war soldier. Like homie was laying in bed, like, I should have gone for the kill. Like
I should have smoked him.
Hey man, listen, I would have put Gran Torino in top 10 over some of these goofy ass niggas.
Bro, Gran Torino has legitimately put up a better performance against like in these fights. Gran Torino survived a punch from All Might. He automatically got more respect from me than like.
Bro, this is my thing. This is there no justification. Listen, bro. If Geaton was a hero, he top 5. No, he was top 5 worthy. And if we ranking, we were swapping niggas out, he was a hero. I got him in top 5.
Yeah, no, I don't see like Miracle beating him. I don't see Edshot beating him. And Genius ain't gonna beat him. He gonna freeze them fibers, boy.
Oh God! So it's like they would have to pull some shit. Like Miracle, I see her as kind of Sonic low key. So I feel like I see Sonic Eggman type shit. Like okay, you can maybe pull something. Edshot, I don't know about that nigga. He get your ass, you done. And it's like it may be a little more matchups going up in there, but it's just like Nah, only reason he was like kind of like stalemated because he had the perfect stalemate. Other than that, like niggas try to come out clowning him for crying or whatever against Cemento's like that's why I like them. I like, all right, bro. Cemento's got a fucking icicle through his chest.
Like, bro,
I'm like, look at him in that pillar of stone. Look
that's
at
not a real
down
W.
The floor.
Like that's not a real W.
They was
At
like,
most that was a tie.
They're gonna be like, aha, look at your boy got knocked out and put on the table. Like, look at your nigga lay down the street with his booty cheeks out. Okay, nigga. we both got L's. That's a double whammy, nigga. The fuck?
Like, the only thing that makes it a win for Cementos is that at least getting it is not whooping everybody ass no more. That's it.
Exactly. So that's my thing though. It's just like, all right, bro. There's no reason at all. No reason that Kamui should not be pulling out Pokemon moves. Like I should be seeing niggas shoot leaves and shit. Like he had a new costume. He had roses on that bitch after like Pro Hero art. I'm like, okay. He coming up, niggas still doing Licorice prison chain. That all right, bro. I understand if it broke, don't fix it, but damn nigga, you can evolve too. He was in the same shit since the beginning of the story. Do something different. And NG out here pulling out new moves every other 2 seconds.
NG.
It's like, bro, come on now. Do something different.
NG, yo, bro. That better not be the only Pro Hero I see do what he did.
Oh God, like y'all niggas better put some work in this bitch for real. Cause I'm like,
right now, yo, my dream scenario for Bakugo next chapter, even though he's not a pro, and this is even if we stay here next chapter, I want Kid Bakugo to talk to him. I want him to really have that moment Endeavor had, like not like to steal it from Endeavor, like because we've always had a Bakugo Endeavor parallel throughout the story anyway. But I think it'd be nice, like if Kid Bakugo, like even in his head or in a flashback or something, it's like, don't lose or win. Like you're not winning right now. You're not doing what you need to do.
His old self called his new self pathetic.
Yo, right?
No, like if his old self was like, Deku isn't here right now. You have to be the star. Like think about what Genius was saying. Like Genius was like, look, I know your arm broke.
I can
fix it. We need you.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, let me suture that shit. What do you do? Like, bro, is there even anything also, you can do right now?
Like, as a grown man, like NG would be like heartbroken. So, like, right. NG was heartbroken having to watch Deku hoop like that. He was like, nah, bro. Like, Genius is feels a little too comfortable being like, hey, Bakugo, I need you to carry us. Like,
and then and he noticed how he peeped how this 16-year-old boy was crying, and he was like, your arm, please, in bold. Like, we don't have time for this kid. Like,
shit, they on a waiting war. We don't have time for it. Like, bro, you don't see that damn monster over there throwing body parts out like it ain't no more. Like
and the other thing about it is, Genius is acting like the thing about that is that currently the person with the most on their shoulders here is Bakugo, and like you can say like Mirio and them, but like the difference between Mirio and Bakugo in this situation is that Shigaraki has made it abundantly clear, I specifically want to kill you. I don't care about any of these other niggas. I want to kill you so I can hurt your friend. You specifically. He's like, please. He's acting like, and this is like how, this is why I say like trauma scaling is bad, but sometimes necessary. Because this feels like Genius is like, look, man, we're in the same position. Nigga, no, we're not.
No funny shit. Like, yo, Genius is like, none of us can do anything to him, but he coming for me. He's on my head.
Like, bro.
Like, I'm like, y'all didn't hear that conversation we just had? I see none of y'all was right there. You didn't hear what he said to me. He said, I'm going to leave your corpse behind so Deku can get mad.
Like, bro, he ain't say that to Genius. He didn't say that to none of these heroes. Specifically, he was like, I'm trying to fuck you up, Bakugo. Like, come on.
Only nigga he finna acknowledge is that nigga Nejire and fucking Mirio. Everybody else.
Which goes back to the irony I said. Like, in the process of Shigaraki being like, I don't care about you, he is showing the most care to Bakugo than anybody else on that battlefield. Like, think about it. He swatted everybody else away. He didn't go, let me follow that up and make sure they did. He was like, damn, them bums out of here. Anyway, let me kill this 16-year-old. Like, bro, like if I was Edshot and I got swatted away and I saw him putting more effort into killing a 16-year-old, I would be embarrassed.
Bro, I'm finna sneak through the ground.
Like, I would be humiliated.
I'm gonna sneak through the ground, slither, and I'm gonna push that nigga through his bottom of his butthole, all the way to the top of his head. I'm like, fuck it all, nigga. I don't care no more. You gotta go.
You know what's so crazy to me, bro, about Miracle and Edson not getting back up is that when Bakugo really started like cooking, and he was like, "We're gonna lead a charge together." Miracle was like, "What? As a team?" Like she's trying to sun him low key, like, "Oh, you trying to work now, little nigga?" Like. And then she just got smacked.
Like she wasn't the first nigga that got smacked too. Like,
like you should have been a little. You already got humble, so I don't know what you talking about.
Like you lost your arm and your leg within the first 5 seconds of this fight.
You see what's going on right here right now is that horniness really can ruin everything because it's in the fact that
one of my an OG quote from a legendary video game, Bully by Rockstar 2006. When all my guys, if you know, you know, Kurt Angles, if you know, you know,
bro.
Jimmy Hopkins said, "Filth like that can really rot a young man's mind."
You took it back.
That's a bar. When the horniness be taking over niggas' brains,
bro. And this come a detriment because niggas really do have a seething rage for Miracle,
like
because they know the horniness that is attached to this bitch when it comes to fucking what's it called. Like, notice how everybody only been clowning on Miracle head this entire time, more so than anybody. Like Genius is in the forefront, but he got way more repertoire and longer standing than Miracle. But notice how we keep coming back on Miracle head.
Bro, Miracle needs to, even narratively, Miracle needs to be gone.
Everybody keeps saying that.
I say narratively because she was the one who first saw Shigaraki and said he is a demon. He deserves that kill. He deserves that kill.
It'd be funny. They be like, she's like, we should have killed you. We had your answer. It's like, you were right about that.
And she kicked his tank. He needs to get back, yo. She woke him up early. He needs to slide on her, bro.
And Alves, the flesh is still a part of his body, so that's why making the walls isn't helping, because it's still gonna erase his quirk so he can still be seen. The smarter thing would have been to just like run inside the building of UA, but
I didn't even think about that. That actually does make the erasure work more.
I was thinking that's from a giggle. I'll be like, oh, y'all think y'all so funny and cute.
It was one of those things I didn't really piece together. I was like, wait, that is his body. Like they really have no issue erasing his quirk right now, just looking at that stuff.
I would just a nigga like me, I would have bulldozed to the ground quick as shit.
Yeah, like
it's like I don't need to make it past a certain amount of layers faster than you can like shift your blocks over. And if I'm consistently out beating you because y'all gotta coordinate and it's just me beating through, I'm gonna get through eventually. And by the time y'all even think of something to stop me, it don't matter because the racer can't see me. And once that happens,
actually, you know who we need right now? We need Air to rerun Gran Torino. We need Prime Torino up in this hole.
Oh God,
but see, because if Prime Torino come in this hole, he gonna embarrass Headshot, Miracle, and Genius.
He gonna I'm gonna show you like he got
the hops.
Buff,
he got the
I'm
speed.
not gonna hold you. Buff body Torino is literally like right under Endeavor.
At this point, I think so. Because like, think about it. He wasn't like perfectly able to keep up with Shiggy, but he was still making moves, and he blocked Shiggy as an old man.
Bro, can you imagine this nigga was like,
and was talking shit too? Because remember, he was like, hitting is a good way to like deal with strong niggas. Like,
bro, nigga got so much experience, it's unmatched. Can you imagine? He should have really been that old head nigga for real. Like, he should have. It would have been crazy if more close he did the old man trope with that nigga, and he was like that old man, that old head nigga. Should have been Uriah, but we all know how that one. We all know that one. But nah, man, it's like imagine he pull up Prime Torino and he's just like top 10. Back in my day, I wasn't even in the top 30. It just started boxing with Shiggy real quick.
Yo, you know what's
if we rewound Torino, it would take a couple decades, but like shit, it might be worth it.
Mad decades, but that'd take years. But yo, Prime Torino to me, like now that we talking about it, remember when he bodied that Nomu and Hosu, and he was like, oh, like I messed up my control a little bit. Like that was something light for him, right quick. Like
that nigga was rusty. He ain't fought in like 30, 40 years.
Like dog was like, oop, I'm sorry, I broke the street. on accident. Like he was like, I was just trying to blitz the Nomu off the street. My bad, guy.
Yeah, nigga,
like, bro.
But that Nomu pulled up in this shit. He was like, man, get the fuck out the building, nigga.
Even in the train, like when he pulled the son out the train, slammed him into a building. That was crazy. Like in this like split second.
And that's the thing is like, now that I think about it, like when you compare Torino to like a lot of these heroes, Torino got that dog in him.
Torino a different nigga, bro.
Nana and Torino are different, bro. That's why bro. It's funny how old heads always complain about you new niggas soft, this and the other. It's because
Torino got that card. He can say that.
Yeah, it's because that nigga was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna kill my my sugar mama. I'm gonna kill my old girl grandson. Fuck this nigga. Or they be ready to kill niggas. They be ready to fade niggas. They be like, bro, they asking the real questions. They real stuffers. And now look at all the generations of off one. Yo, check off in the third. You already know those niggas was killing niggas because bro. He literally said, every
Torino would have been perfect in that time period.
Bro, he was like, bro, if this was like a different series and we was like back in Chekhov in them era, and like let's say Chekhov is the y'all know who Chekhov is. Shout out to Joseph Sciola.
That's the second user.
He came up with the phrase Chekhov.
Yeah, because he's like Chekhov's gun, because it's just a matter of time before
this
then we
just gonna call the third. He will call the third Fajin, right? Mm-hmm. And then we're gonna call Yoichi. If the series are more based around them back in the day, and it was like Yoichi the MC, do the Ragonist or second MC, whatever, for Chekhov, and then third, like one of the side characters and shit. And then you got like Torino. Torino could just been like that old nigga that was just like on that nigga, like a classic anime. Like, yo, he pull up, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know a beast on the scene. Y'all know a nigga finna get the smoke in, because them niggas back in the day was built different. These niggas now, they too soft, too much politics and like.
Because like think about it, like Genius got a hole blasted in him, and he just like went radio silence. Like Torino was like 70 years old, got a hole blasted in him, had his leg amputated, and was like, "Hey, my bad, bro. I should have killed that nigga." And, no excuses, no like, hey, make sure you murk him. Take this cake.
And it's not even like he was trying to not kill him.
Like I was like, take this cake. I'm with you in spirit. We gonna murk that nigga together somehow, some way.
That should be a constant reminder that bro, you gonna have to kill somebody, little nigga. Mm-hmm. Like,
it might as well be the strongest niggas to ever exist.
There are some people, bro, where death is a form of salvation. Like that, I really think that was foreshadowing for Shigaraki's end. Like
it was because
Torino was a part of all of that. Like, nobody know how much of a victim he is than Gran Torino.
Mm-hmm. And also though, like when you think about like old Torino's performance, that also puts in perspective just how crazy Prime AFO is if you already weren't thinking about it. Because like Torino was making light work of multiple Nomu and stuff like it was nothing as an old man who wasn't even in these streets for a long time.
Oh my God, I just realized something.
You're right.
Bro, I just realized something. You're right. They are, bro, I just read no. 257 got a whole different meaning now, because now, y'all, after thinking about it now, this nigga box, if All Might is Superman, Nana's Wonder Woman. She's not far behind Superman. Then you got Torino that was there, and young All Might, and All For One boxed out all these niggas, and they could not take him down in his
All Might had to leave the country.
Bro, oh my God. Now, and you already talking about how fraudulent and boo-boo these top 10 niggas are. I can imagine.
Yo, I'm gonna keep it a stack. Yo, wait, I'm gonna keep it a stack. Hold up. Like, I just had a realization. Yeah, where is he at, first of all? But Torino back in the day, like, so when All Might left and All For One was still doing his thing, Torino held it down.
He did. Bro, now that I think about it, Torino's holding it down for like a whole 40 years.
He had to have held it down until whenever All Might came back. And, you got to think about how he was moving when he found out All For One was back. He was involved with the police. Like, they quickly took him in. Like, he really must have been that nigga, like, during that time period. Like, I mean, Nana was gone. Like, he had to have been that hero. Like, he
would have been the only one connected into the upper echelon of the Hero Association that would have been like, because they said Nagant went after that nigga, right?
Yeah.
She's like, I chased you down. And that was early in Nagant's years, her real youth. So that was like, and she's like, she probably went away. She was like 25, and she's like what 36 or something like that now. They it's somewhere. They said it. They said her age. We got that. If I can
find my copy of Volume 31.
Yeah, they said they talked about that.
I don't know if it is, but I don't think it will.
It might be
about the previous.
It might be in 30. It might be in 32, but she's in her mid 30s for sure.
Yeah, and she went away. She went away at like 22, 24, when she was like top tier rookie on the scene. She already said, I was at the All For One. You were my target at 1.2. So I'm pretty sure all the shit, he would have probably been there like, yo, let's get it up in here. Like, this how this nigga move. He got works everywhere.
He definitely encountered All For One a few times when All Might was in America.
Also, I'm gonna be real. This makes me feel like Gran Torino surviving feel way less weird because he was just that hard of a nigga.
I'm kind of like
talking about it. Honestly,
I still got him dead, but as long as he don't come back, as long as he don't come back and start fighting, I'm like,
I had thought,
hey,
I had thought in the back of my mind, like, yo, what if he hold down Central Hospital?
Like, he with a hole in his chest. If he hold it down with a hole in his chest and 1 foot, I'm just gonna be like, all right, man. You know what? I had him as dead, but I just take that L because this nigga literally is built different, bro.
Because this discussion made me really realize that like with the level of caliber like Gran Torino was really moving at, that shit, I guess like he might have taken like, hey, like he earned that survival. Like my man been through hell.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
We just talking about how gas Gran Torino is like.
But yeah, let's wrap up because I know Tarnish got to get where he got to go, and I got to work on my resume and stuff. So
anything y'all want to say about the top 10? Who would y'all put in y'all? Talk out the lower. Let's do lower top 5, lower last 5 to 10.
Like 10 through 6 right now. Shit. We talking good guys or whole verse?
I just do good guys for right now, and you can put in the gun.
All right. Actually, I will say like Nagant might be number 10, just because if anybody gets close to her to apply pressure, then it's kind of like raps. So but I'm gonna be real, like Bakugo and Shoto might be top 10, like for hero side period now.
That's kind of sad, but yeah.
Like it's sad, but it's also like nice for their progress. But
I'll give Shoto a pass because he was created for this shit.
Yeah.
Bakugo is just Bakugo.
Like
you a beast.
Yeah, like it just is what it is. Oh. Well, honestly, shit, they might be sliding in the top 5 hero side with the way these niggas performing. I'm not gonna lie, because like shit. What would be the top 5 for the heroes? What, Deku, Endeavor, like?
No. We ain't gonna put them.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, it's like pro heroes as we got stated right now, and we'll get big 3 too. So you can put Mirio in there if you need.
Yeah, so like my bottom 5 would probably end up being like Nagant, Bakugo, Shoto, Mirio, and like Nejire. Maybe like, but some of them might go up if I like sat down and thought about it.
Yeah, but we just doing a quote real quick.
Yeah, so like quick, not in any particular order. Those 5 is probably like the bottom 5 to 10.
Yeah, I gotta go though. For
all right.
Give final thoughts in.
Quick final thoughts. I love this chapter. I just need more chaos. Because Shigaraki has not disappointed since last chapter. Kept the same energy this chapter. 358, I'm kind of looking at that chapter a little bit better now that we got everything. Because that's how it always is. Like when you first get a chapter and you're not feeling it, with MHA, you normally got to wait for more to happen. So I'm definitely feeling this whole battlefield a lot more. The stakes, the tension is here. This is what I was looking for in this fight, tension. Like I wanted to feel scared of shit happening. That panel of Sunita running away, fear. Like, he can't do anything, like just fear. Like
and Miracle Headshot.
They gone. They got smacked. Like they're gone. Bakugo's arm broken, Genis bloodied up. Like the tension is here. Like, and if we stay here next week, it's gonna get crazier. Like, if we stay at this battlefield, a death is gonna happen before we go away. Because this is like the perfect chance to cut away. So if he don't cut away, I'm expecting like some crazy shit to actually happen in the next few chapters. And then we cut away after that. But this chapter and last chapter, like I give last chapter like a 9, especially after this chapter made that one better. And this chapter right now is like easy 9 again. But 15 pages though, like it's hurting. These 15 pages hurting. I need 19 pages of just chaos. But like he low-key made things a little more hard now, like because now the hand things have a face in them too. Like you wildin', bro.
That's why we get 15 pages because he want to fuck around over here.
Yeah, you got teeth to draw now and stuff. Like that battle with Deku, that's gonna be like 10 chapters. Like if he really go into full detail with that fight, Deku versus Shigaraki gonna be a long ass fight at this rate. And I'm alright with that though. Yeah, I love this chapter. I can't wait for next chapter. Whether we cut away or not, it don't matter. But I would just like to cut away. I think Toga. I think it'd be a nice. I think we need to go back to Toga because that was the first place we saw her, and we know about what she has already. We know about her trump card. So that would be a quick, easy transition where the tension is still there because we know about Twice. So he wouldn't have to build nothing up. Because with All For One, that was 4 chapters, but he had to build up like them overpowering him and then the Uno reverse. This, we know Shiggy's a god. Toga, she has Twice's blood. We knew about that before the fight even started. And then Dabi, he got the comeback. So right now, the easiest places to go to would either be Dabi or Toga. But if he does want to start off fresh somewhere else, I'll be fine with that too. Because, that's just more madness. But yeah, that's all I got, man. And hopefully, hopefully the future of the church is bright with all the news we got today. Congratulations, Aniki and, child coming, greatness. The job setback, that's all it is. Just a little setback. We're going to get back. We're going to get right. You know what I mean? But all right, y'all. Have a good day.
All right, East, go ahead and, bring us home.
All right, man. Listen. This chapter absolutely fucking phenomenal, son. Oh my God. Such greatness. It's crazy because me and Tarnish are like real close. So we be texting. I would text Aniki more, but then they don't reply. But that's neither here nor there, okay?
I'm a horrible texter. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he awful. Only reason I know how he got with his girls because,
she bullied me.
Yeah, and then they work at the same place. It's like the only way I was even aware that the motherfuckers like. I was like, that's the only possible way he could possibly date her. Because I'm like, listen. Unless you just getting dick or whatever, you coming over every time. I don't even know she could do that because that nigga don't text back. but me and Tarnish, we be staying like sometimes we be voice noting a lot, and then sometimes we get tapped to the bag, and we just be talking. So we were talking about this too. Was like we need to see from all these pro heroes what is going like I've already been saying. I'm not a meathead. I didn't need the series to do what it's doing now. All right, I would have been perfectly fine. You did this the regular way. Skip year 2, go into 3. They had their war, and Shigaraki never had like 1, but you set this up completely differently than what I initially expected. But my thing about this is, if we're gonna do real shit, we need to have real stakes. Niggas need to be losing limbs. This is war. These kids are not fully prepared for what they're enacting. If you want to give them W's, that's fine, but they're gonna need to earn these W's through bloodshed, loss of limbs, deaths by people around them, and kill off the. There's no reason we shouldn't be killing pro heroes now. That especially you want to get the kids victories because it's like, all right, I gave you the alley-oop, bro. Now do what you got to do. Type B, like Shoto did, right? So I'm like, I need to see more of that. Them earning. You're gonna give them victories. They have to earn this shit, like for hardest they've ever fought in their lives. Type B. So that's what we've been needing. And then we was talking, talking about, yo, this nigga doing some crazy ass shit we never even seen before with endeavors. Like, I need this from everybody. The top 10 is a joke. Endeavor's the only one got that dog and them putting it out there. This, that, and other. That bitch at Hawks is a fucking killer. They doing what they need to do and pulling out some insanity type shit. So I'm like, come on, we need to step it up. Everybody needs to step up and do what they do. Wash, you the only one I'm banking on at lower top 10. You the only one I'm banking on. So it's just like they need to really show me some shit. But then I was like, I need to see some crazy combinations of teamwork. Then lo and behold, he came out with this chapter. Niggas is really putting in some teamwork and effort, and I was truly impressed. And I'm so happy to finally be seeing their hands up and waiting to see. All it takes time is truly just takes time because every fight is drawn differently and expected differently. So every time I just say it's patience is a virtue when it comes to this series, and it's just so fun to be here, elaborating and talking about this shit. This is what happens when you tapped in and talking to the right people, and you're not on Twitter looking at dumbass niggas talking about some area gonna come back and rewind everybody. This is what happens when you have real conversations, when you actually invested and you use your brain to think, and not your heart, the hatred in your heart, or your dick because you talking stupid. But that's neither here nor there. But hey, man, listen. I appreciate y'all for coming. Who knows what the future holds for us and this series? But either way it goes, no matter what happens, it has been fun. always will be fun until this is all over. And the greatness and the times we have shared and the laughter I've shared with you people and the joy will never be replaced and it will never be forgotten. Thank you to Aniki. Shout out to Jordan Pax. Happy birthday, brother. Shout out to Andrew, you fucking troll. I love you, dog. I'm happy you overcoming your things. I've grown. I've seen a lot of you grown. You've seen us grown over this course of time, man. It's only been absolute pleasure to be here with you guys as far as it's been, man. I couldn't have asked for better. I really couldn't have asked for better. Shout out to Aniki. Happy birthday. Shout out. Congratulations, Papa Bear. Papa Aniki. Hey, man, I appreciate everyone, y'all. We could list you all day, but you know who you are. If you've been here, you're a real nigga. To the oldest niggas that's been in the service since day one and on our streams back since NBA, to the newest niggas that's just popped in. We truly appreciate every single last one of y'all, and I can't fucking wait to come back again and talk to you. Until the end of time, you know who I am. You know what we do. Undefeated of the East, baby. What it do? Hell, Horry. And thank y'all for coming to church.
I want to just appreciate everybody who came through, especially appreciate the super chats, especially with, everything going on in my life right now. I'm probably not going to do a solo review today just because I have to work on resumes, stuff like that. But I might still go ahead and do like a Twitter thread just to support, and like go along with this that way you guys still get some extra stuff. And like after I go through and look at it and kind of get my thoughts out. But genuinely appreciate everybody that's here. Going to try to make sure that regardless of what happens over these next couple months, that at the very least, these next streams are worth having and fun for you guys. Appreciate everybody who's been here the entire way through. If you want me to, let me post the Discord link again, because, if people who are in the streams, I'm going to go ahead, like I said, I'm not going to keep restricting it to members only anymore. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys come back in. Hell, I don't even advertise the fact that this channel has memberships, but it does. So yeah, just go ahead, make sure you guys have a nice week. Hope to see you all next Sunday. That's really all I got to say. I'm on. Shit, and we